Hello there, hello there, hello there, everyone. How the devil are we all? I'm Kevin Logan, and joining me, as ever, for the happy hour. It wouldn't be a happy hour without her. She is one of the greatest real estate portfolio rent-free livers in chud mines this side of the Atlantic, I would say. It's Dr. Kristi Winters.
Hey, Kev. Yeah, you know me, living rent-free, living life. And yourself as well. You are the current, love fixation of Sargon. He's been watching what videos you've posted, and he's hoping to bring you over to the dark side, I think.
Yeah, something about being an English nationalist or something. Well, no, actually, my entire thing was, it's actually shit. England can suck all of my cock.
Yeah, I have to say, the Conservatives are managing to fuck up everything.
Everything,
It's
literally everything.
quite astounding. Their incompetence is actually impressive. Impressive isn't it? Makes an impression on you how incompetent they are.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are profoundly terrible. To the person in the chat saying debate Sargon, yeah, all right, whatever. Like I've talked to him a million times, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, look, here's the thing about Sargon. He has no actual arguments. He comes with his misunderstanding of reality. And then when you try to press him on it and he has no answer, he just makes personal attacks on you, showing he has no political arguments. So, what is the point of that? He is today on, can I just say before we start, today on Twitter, he actually tried to compare paying taxes to slavery. How uneducated and thick do you have to be to compare paying taxes when you can own property and you're a person with rights to not being able to earn any money from your labor, not being able to actually own any money, let alone property, let alone transfer it in order to have the rights to pay the taxes? Seriously, if you admire Sargon, you should go admire a piece of wood, because at least, that sheet contributes something to the universe by degrading and becoming something new.
Exactly, that can give off light and heat, whereas coal doesn't give off anything. But yeah, I mean, clearly it's ridiculous to compare paying taxes with being a slave, because slaves don't even have to pay taxes. They got it sweet.
Yeah, that would be Karl's line of thinking.
Clearly. Yeah, Karl might, I think, be a fucking idiot.
He is a complete...
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, but he's uneducated by choice.
Yeah.
He revels in his own ignorance. And also, here's the other thing, too. When I was waiting for you to load stuff up, I was on Twitter. And he was responding to Short Fat Otaku saying, when people can't tell the difference between your real political opinions and shit posting. And he gives some sort of meme response about how he's right on and spot on. I'm like, Karl, do you realize how nobody gives a shit what your opinions are? People on Twitter will just take your stuff at face value. If you think everyone looks at your tweets and thinks, oh, is this his legitimate opinion or is he shit posting? We don't have time for that. There are real problems to solve. You're not the center of the universe. Your ego is disproportionately large to your actual impact. Look, go try to get on Timcast if you want to get noticed again, because your time on YouTube being a star is over. No one gives a shit about you anymore, old man.
Yes. Also, with is it his real opinion or is it a shit post? It's kind of a Schrodinger's prick again. He literally just
Exactly.
waits to see the reaction, and if everyone goes, "That's the dumbest thing you've ever said," he's like, "No, it's a joke, bro. Seriously, you think I mean taxes are worse than slavery? No. What I actually mean is that Donald Trump's probably got the biggest cock in the world."
Yeah.
Is it a joke? We'll wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, person in the chat, you're going to go and put your opinions or listen to the opinions of a guy who gave a platform to Andy No, who's now been charged with having child porn. You're going to put your opinions and take your advice from a guy who was trying to talk him around ways to discuss pedophilia. Seriously? That's where, if that's where you are, then don't even come to our chat, honestly, because we don't want that kind of trash in our chat.
Indeed. But thank you to Navigator BR for the 2-month subscription on Twitch. That's awesome. You can pay me to say your name too, if you want to, over on twitch.com/KFLogan1875. Anyway. Yes, so. Karl's a dick.
Yeah, let's actually go deeper. Let's keep going.
You want me to go deeper with the dick? Hey.
Oh, you're channeling your inner Eric Idle there.
I am a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, it was Amos Yee. You're right. It was someone else whose name was started with A and has 4 letters. Amos Yee, not Andy. No, I don't know if that was
Are you
somebody. Oh, that
saying
was
all
someone in the
East
chat.
Asians look alike? That is so racist, Kristo.
No, I actually did. I say I should have said Amos Yee.
Yeah, exactly.
Andy
Yeah.
No too is more famous than Carl Nut, but I don't think. But if I did, my apologies. I just had a nap, but I woke up. That's going to be my.
It's okay.
excuse.
Kristi just thinks all of the Orientals are the same. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Yes, yes, Kevin. Thank you for your obviously ironic racist statement there.
I am a buffoon.
Did I actually say Andy No? I don't even remember. I was in the middle of a.
I'll be honest, Kristi. I was looking at my
think
chat.
I just said a pedophile.
I have no idea.
Yeah, oh, you were. See, you don't even listen to me when I fucking talk. Why do I even do this show?
I've been asking myself that from the start. I was like, why is she even suggesting this? Bless her, but this can't end well for anyone. Jesus.
Yeah. So we did. I wonder if Carl has publicly commented on Amos Yee yet.
Oh, probably not. He's probably sweeping under the carpet the fact that he was defending a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
Giving him tips and advice on how to sell pedophilia better.
Yes. Well, I mean, he got charged with possession of sexual images of children. I don't know if he's been charged with pedophilia per se.
Okay. Okay.
Accuracy of it.
Technically speaking,
yes.
But I mean,
illegal images of children.
Come on now. Unless he's going to pull I was doing research or some nonsense like that. Like he was jerking into images of kids. Like, of course he was.
Which everyone fucking knew forever because he's been defending this.
Yeah.
Carl decided to sit down with him anyway.
This was the least surprising story of 2020.
Yeah. It was a matter of time. And Carl helped him. Well, and it wasn't even the first time he's defended that topic either, where he sided with the person who would abuse children. Defend the abuse of children.
Well, it depends on the child, though, doesn't it? Really,
Precisely.
According to Carl. I mean, the only thing that would be less surprising, I think, is if Carl were to be arrested during a police raid of a massage parlor. Would be another
massage parlors illegal though, or
well, the ones where they wank you off are, yeah.
Okay, but you can go. But isn't prostitution legal if it's just one or two people in a bedsit or in a building or something like that?
So. I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. I don't know how the sex workers law work in the UK.
Well, I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that his excuse of, they're legitimate masseuse people. Why did you have to search it a million times to the point where it was the number one search thing in your bar? That would suggest to me that you're going to establishments that regularly have to shut down and relocate. For whatever reason. It could just be health and safety legislation. Could be the fact that you're going to illegal dens of iniquity, which should be legal, but whatever.
So let's speaking again, staying on the Sargon train, because we need a little break from politics before the election special next week, Tuesday.
Actually, I'm not sharing the screen with you, so you won't even be able to look at the thing.
No,
apologies.
I have no idea what you're looking at.
Well, you could be watching the stream and giving me another view, but no.
No, I'm watching the chat. I did pop out the chat window, so I can see those.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, yeah, people in my chat were complaining about your pink background, but at least it's legible now. At least you can read it. Or readable, I should say.
It's not pink, that's red. Look, it's red.
Oh, okay.
How dare
All
you.
right.
Anyway,
they were telling me it was pink.
Well, those people are fucking stupid. Your chat's stupid. My chat are awesome.
They were people from your chat.
Oh, you said my chat. Anyway, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Well, people from your chat come to my chat too,
Do they? Why have you got a chat open? What? Oh, I'm fucking confused now. Doesn't matter.
On a different stream. On a different stream.
Oh, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to actually kill myself. Anyway, right. The thing I was looking at was this, and I was going to say we're not really taking a break from politics. We're just taking a break from politics in reality.
Yes. And then go to the fantasy of Carl's brain mind.
Yeah, because this is spectacular. Now, I need to give you the breakdown here, because the video is called Remoralization, as you can see there. Just move the screen across.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that's even a thing in Karl's world, and I do have to explain this, because normal people will not probably have heard of a guy called Yuri Besmanov. He was a former.
I've not heard of him.
Yeah, he's a former Soviet intelligence officer. who has become big in far right circles because he plays into their narrative of. Apparently, he claims he's never shown a single shred of evidence for this, but he claims that the Soviet Union have been putting in demoralization agents into the United States to sow discontent, because apparently America had never been discontented in the history of its nation before the Soviet Union decided to mess around. Anyway, and essentially it's the rather more formalisation of the conspiracy theory, and it's still a conspiracy theory, of cultural Marxism. Basically, the left, the Soviet Union, have put these agents into America to destroy America. And that's why America's having problems.
Like, when people in America who are marginalized, like people of color, talk about their experiences of racism, institutional racism or individual level racism, or when you have economic alienation because minimum wage hasn't been raised in like 20 years. The problem is the people complaining, not the actual structural racism or the structural economic inequality. That's not the real problem. The problem is when people point out that they're not happy. That is the attack on America. Is that kind of where they're going with that?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And Besmanoff was saying this during the 80s. I think it got kicked up again recently. But anyway, yeah, it's nonsense. Basically, it boils down to the people who were protesting against the murder of George Floyd weren't doing it because they were annoyed that a black man had been murdered by the police on camera in broad daylight. They were doing that because the Soviet Union had placed agents in America, and that is a far more sensible and plausible explanation.
Yeah, but when white men, evangelical preachers and stuff complain about the changing morals of America, that's all fine to complain about. When they talk about how you can't get away with, sexual harassment in the workplace anymore, and it's not Madman world, that is legitimate complaints, not systematic and systemic police brutality in police interactions.
Yeah.
No, that's not the problem. Okay,
exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
white people have to tell people of color what to be upset about? Is that also...
Which is ironic because apparently it's white people that were sent from the Soviet Union to America to tell black people how to think. So either way, whether they're right, which they're not, or they're wrong, they still think it should be white people telling black people what to do.
Yes.
Just capitalist ones instead of socialist ones. Anyway, but it's a conspiracy theory load of old shit who's never provided a single shred of evidence. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so when he calls it remoralization, that's the reference he's making. That's the context for the fucking drivel you're about to hear.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now my brain's already starting to hurt. And
yeah,
we haven't
exactly.
hit play yet.
And he's selling merch in his store. With Besmanoff's got this thing where it's like 5 stages of demoralization. A lot of bollocks, and Karl's got it written on a t-shirt. You can buy with your money. If you're an idiot.
Oh, wait, so Karl's again stealing people's intellectual property and putting it on his...
Well, is it intellectual property when it's actually just Soviet government policy that definitely happened? It wasn't totally made up by Yuri Besmanov at all.
Well, I definitely think that anytime you take somebody else's ideas, once they put them out there, they are copyrighted by all international
It wasn't
laws.
Yuri Besmanov's idea. It was Karl Marx, Lenin, Stalin, the third. So,
like Karl, I mean, what are the UKIP Moo sales down in 2020? Is that the?
Oh, someone buy me a UKIP Moo. I'll wear it. That'd be hilarious.
His Sadiq Khan rip-off flip-flops not moving on the...
To be fair, just for legal reasons there, that was actually the official Conservative candidate for the mayoral London position.
Karl would steal that shit and sell it anyway.
Well, he absolutely would. I wouldn't put it past him. But just for clarification, it was actually the official Conservative Party that was selling that shite.
Yeah,
anyway,
yes. Yeah, so. Well, that was a reference to Karl would steal anything of anyone's ideas. Because
he would step over his own dying mother to steal her shit.
Mm-hmm.
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
For legal reasons. My lawyer, who I definitely have, has told me to say. Anyway, so, so Karl's talking shit. Let's listen to it.
That's the show. Welcome,
Yay.
folks. You know what you signed up for. If you don't like it, you have to leave now.
Exactly. You knew what you were coming here for. Don't fucking start.
Trump released his ABC News interview, and
which I suppose we should just get into. I know it's only 5 seconds in, but did you see the interview, the 60 minutes thing?
Oh my God. That was such, I mean, honestly, the man is such a hypersensitive baby who is, I mean, his sexism was coming through. His inability to answer a question was coming through. His entitlement, he just reeked of entitlement. He wants to be treated like a king. If people aren't deferential to him, he freaks out. He thinks he's entitled to never being questioned, never being pushed, never having to explain anything. And he lives in a world of his own delusions.
Yeah, I think the most telling comment for me was just before he storms out, is him where he's saying to her, "Oh well, when you first contacted us, you said it was just going to be a nice interview." Like, motherfucker, what? So you only agreed to it because you thought it was going to be a little fluff piece, and the fact that she asked you a couple of reasonably trying questions about the fact that you're the fucking president, you prick.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Look, he seems to think he's just being like a private businessman. No, motherfucker. The American people are paying you money to do a very, very important job. I think they have every right to get answers to very, very important questions, which can involve the deaths of over 200,000 American fucking people.
Yeah, don't ask him about that. Don't ask him about the fact that he keeps saying it never should have gotten out of China. Well, Trump, shouldn't it have not also gotten out of New York State? I mean, apply your logic on China to America. You're the one who let it spread. Yeah. China contained its internal spread far better than you did. And you can't answer questions about that, then you don't deserve to be president. Yeah. Just, again, he came across as a petulant child. He didn't come across as presidential.
No, not at all. Yeah. And that's the thing, even if we grant, well, it's China's fault for starting it, that's, let's go with that for a second. Let's say that's true. Not really. That's not how... human diseases work. No, not at all. But let's say it is. Once it gets to America, then it's on you to do something about it. It's not a situation you caused, because obviously in this hypothetical world, China did it. So, but it's your job then to protect the American people, and in some broader sense, the world, I suppose. But America first and all that. It's your job to protect the American people, and you have fundamentally failed in that duty.
Yeah, I mean, if you were like sharing a house with somebody, and since February, they've not come through with their rent payment, and it's October now, and you're like, hey, the rent, and they're like, hey, you know what? Back in January, I paid the rent. I'm like, yeah, but that was fucking January. Like, what have you done for me lately? What have you done about the rent payments for the last several months? He keeps wanting to say his one decision in January was the only thing he ever had to do as president. That's just a failure. It's a failure of leadership and even understanding his ability, his prowess as president and the lives he could have saved. But he didn't want to look bad. He wanted to go into magical Trump fairyland where, this is just going to go away with warm weather, because he just wanted to get back to the pre-COVID world where the economy was booming, and that's what he was going to run on. And he's more focused on getting back to a past that no longer exists than he was with dealing with the problems of the present. And that is why we are talking about Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas as swing states in 2020.
Yeah. Indeed so.
Thank you for my little rant there.
But talking about surprising swing states, no, absolutely, yeah. When your enemy is making mistakes, I'm only joking. Now, when when you're making a good point, go for it, man. Yes, and talking of surprise swing states in the election, I've got one particularly delicious piece of Trumpian nonsense from one of his supporters about a particular state, and it nearly made my head and anus explode.
What was that?
We'll get to it. It's in the bookmarks. We'll get to it. It's amazing. Right. You'll never guess which state. Anyway. So, yeah, he's talking about...
1 in 50 chance.
Well, literally, yeah. That's yeah. I mean, I suppose in theory you could go with Puerto Rico or some shit. Does American Samoa vote? I don't know. Anyway.
I'm going to guess Florida, because, Florida.
Yeah. Maybe. Miami-Dade County specifically. No, yeah, so he's talking about the 60 Minutes interview. Go for it.
In it, I think that, as David Rearboy here says, he's hit a home run. When asked, can you characterize your supporters, he says, he thinks for a minute, and then says, yeah, I think I can. People who love our country. And I really think that that's a very succinct way of describing the fervent supporters of Trump. I think they see in him a representation of, I guess, what we could call Americanism, or sort of Americana, the sort of cultural aesthetic trappings that are American and that are recognizably American to other people from around the world. I think that what they're most invested in with Trump is that, because that comes with it a set of, it's a package of values and appearances and intentions.
Appearances?
Yeah. I guess he's been listening to Vosh a lot if he's picking up the word aesthetics now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
The thing about this is, can I just say, what Karl is ignoring here is that successful politicians often are successful because they transcend partisanship. People don't want to be divided. Some do. Some, like real fanatical haters want to see the world in terms of us versus them. But your average, person who switches between Democrats and Republicans during elections, considers themselves an independent or not even partisan. They want a president for all of Americans.
Yeah.
They don't want a president just for their part of the country. And so what Karl is missing, because his political analysis, as usual, is shit, is that Trump is a divider, and he's running on grievance and resentment. And the idea of an Americana that never existed, or if it did exist, it only existed for white people.
Yeah.
And that you can't get people who are marginalized to buy into that dream because they can never attain it because they are marginalized or alienated from it by the structural racism, economic inequality, and things like that. So again, this is like the lie that white racists tell themselves to justify their racist portrayal of America in the past as being the perfect place to live, which it was if you were white and middle class. Not if you were super poor, but if you were middle class or rich and lived in the suburbs, and your dad got, or your mom got your dad got a government funded education because they were a veteran and white, and you were allowed to buy a house in the suburbs because you were white and you weren't being racially discriminated against, and you were able to get a job that with a college or with a high school or college education that allowed you to feed yourself and your 2 kids and your wife. Again, if you were white, like that America, maybe for a few people existed, but that wasn't the America for everybody. And we need an America for everybody.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Thanks.
And I think there's an even simpler point that Karl seems to be missing. When he claims here that it's a home run, that Trump said, oh, the people who my supporters love the country. What presidential candidate has ever stood up and gone, yeah, I can sum up my supporters. They fucking hate America. Seriously, they think it's shit. Yeah, vote for me. Like, of course, every motherfucker says, yeah, we love America. Has there been a single presidential candidate that hasn't stuck their cock/vagina into a fucking flag at some point? That's what they do. You have to.
Look, we need for democracy to function the idea of a loyal opposition. You need for democracy to function and not dissolve into civil war. The idea that people who are also your fellow citizens love your country and you disagree on policy, but you don't mischaracterize them as hating the country because they disagree with you. And of course, people who live off of racial resentment and division and, white power like Karl does can't see that. He can't allow for that.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you go off, man. Go.
And beliefs. And so I think Trump actually really quite embodies a lot of these very closely. He seems to be, like I've called him before, the avatar of America. And I think that's a really true thing about
That's why he's losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's Madman America. He's America that's like in the 20th century and is dying off. I mean, that old version of America stopped existing a long time ago, and Trump and Karl have not caught up.
Indeed. Although, can I just do my silly joke that I thought of when he said that?
Yeah.
I thought he's like the avatar of America in that votes for him are unobtainium. Yes!
Oh my God, that was the shit MacGuffin in Avatar, wasn't it?
Yep. That was the thing they were trying to find. The really difficult material that was hard to get is called unobtainium. The silliest thing ever. Yeah.
That is so shit. I'd forgotten how that shit part of that shit movie.
Yeah.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Anyway, so
That's like a placeholder name for your MacGuffin until you come up with something more scientific.
exactly, you write that in the script initially as unobtainium. We'll come up with a name later, and the actors just said it, and everyone was like, "Oh well, we filmed it now. There's nothing we can do. Bollocks." Got this fucking $100 million movie that we've just got to put out with unobtainium in it. Fucking hell. Desperate. Anyway, so I did an Avatar joke.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that film, you don't get that reference. I don't give a fuck. Why are you even here?
Yeah, and no
if you
spoiler,
haven't seen Avatar, why are you even fucking here?
Honestly, if you haven't seen Avatar, I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just stay ignorant. That you don't need to see that movie.
Gets missed because of the way that not just political analysis, but just the sort of the general analysis that people have on the world. Very utilitarian and materialistic. I think that has a bit of a blind spot for these kind of cultural and, again, almost artistic concerns. And so I wanted to talk about
What is he talking about? Artistic concerns?
I think he's just been spending too much time listening to Vosh stuff, and he's focusing on the word of aesthetics, and he's trying to appropriate it for his white nationalist agenda.
Probably.
the idea of him summarizing his supporters as people who love our country, because I think that there's some nuance in this that's really worth bringing out, and I think this will help us in the goal of remoralizing the West, and that's exactly the problem. I think that
remoralizing the West, that's the Besmanoff thing coming through. You see, that's the whole point. Trump is somehow the antidote to Russian interference in American election.
The idea that you would ever put the word nuance next to anything Trump did, said, wrote is hilarious. No, this is about an us versus, I actually get, because I must be on some political fundraising emails, I get emails from the Trump campaign. And I got one this week, and the subject matter was us versus them.
So I presume
exactly what it was.
That won your round.
Yes. In the meantime, I got one from Kamala Harris and Biden saying, we need to pull together in these last 2 weeks, completely different messaging, No, there's no nuance.
Typical cultural Marxism from the Biden campaign.
It's just racist. And the thing is that, of course, Karl doesn't know any American political history because for him, American political history started when his YouTube channel started.
Yeah.
But, what Trump is doing is just the same thing Karl fucking Rove did with his divide and conquer strategy for George W. Bush to win in 2000. And Karl Rove was inspired by the fucking Southern strategy by Nixon. Yeah. Which was about, dividing whites away and pulling them. So, no, this isn't new. This isn't, Trump is doing a shittier version of both of those things right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a knockoff Nixon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's an orange knockoff Nixon.
Yeah.
Oranger.
He's a dollar store Nixon. For unfortunately a dollar store America. America's not gone uphill since those days. Anyway, partly because of Nixon. Anyway. But I was going to say, I think the point you made there about Karl's understanding of American history, political history, stretching back as far as 2010, is probably true. Because if you remember when we did our thing and he was like, Trump won by a landslide, and then I took him through the actual electoral college victories throughout history in America, and Trump's is the fourth or fifth lowest, which is still a win. I'm not denying the fact of the matter. But the idea that it's a landslide is
by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I mean, literally as narrow as it gets, basically. And Trump, and he was like, oh, but look who he beat. He beat, I think it was Kennedy and Lincoln or something. And I just said to him, stop naming people you've heard of. That just because he beat some famous people, he beat virtually no one. That's God. So he doesn't know anything about anything.
No.
Anyway,
absolutely not.
That has hit us, and I think that's why Yuri Besmanov's words ring so true. Even if the Soviet Union no longer exists, we're still been demoralized, and this is
okay. But Karl, let's say that happened, right? The Soviet Union sent people in. Who's paying for them now?
Yeah, who's sending them in now? Putin.
Yeah,
well, I actually do believe that. Look at the bots and the trolls on Twitter, echoing your
the guy in the Oval Office.
yeah, him too.
And it is based on him saying, I love America. And so it's like, right. And unsurprisingly, he's attracted people who also say, well, I also love America. That politician speaks for me.
Yeah, the
compared to Joe
KKK said
Biden,
that too.
Whose supporters all seem to kind of hate America, where they're not explicitly saying this. They just always talk it down.
Pause. Sorry. Like, here's the thing. I want America to be the country it was taught as it could be for me as a white woman in America, for everybody. And when it's not, then it's not an American dream. Like, if only 30% of the people in the country can actually use merit or get ahead or have a life that they want, then that is not America. So the point is, we're not hating America. We want it to be what it should be, not the shit version of what it currently is.
Yeah. But
exactly.
The thing is,
people on the left want to improve society and make it more fair and more accessible, whereas people on the right want to protect their privilege that comes at the expense of everybody else.
Yeah, it's the old line about dissent being the most patriotic thing you can do.
Yes. Karl, Mr. Free Speech, should, but he can't handle, it's like when people criticize Britain, Karl's feelings get hurt. Like, fucking why? These are dead people. This has nothing to do with you. There's none of that prestige was yours. You don't own any of it. It doesn't make you a better person. So it shouldn't matter to you when they criticize it.
But it's even worse for Britain, because at least America is still a world superpower. It's on the wane, its empire is crumbling, but it's still at, roughly the top. Thereabouts. Mm-hmm. Whereas Britain hasn't been there for 100 years, really. I mean, 50 years at the very least, we've been nothing. And so it's all vicarious. It's all, we won the war. Oh, did we? 25-year-old? I don't remember you and me storming the beaches on Normandy on D-Day, mate. Come on.
Karl,
we ran a quarter of the globe.
Absorb resources.
Did we? I don't remember you and me invading Mandalay.
Yeah, it was also run on oppression and racism and destruction and, rape and all that stuff.
That's what empires do. That's, I think it's disgusting. That's why I hate imperialism. But the point is, beyond even that point, if you think it is glorious, at least America is still glorious in that sense. Whereas in Britain, it's even worse because we've got nothing and we're pretending. We're still buying new nuclear weapons. Why?
Why?
Why are we doing that?
Nobody gives a shit. Really, they don't.
We can't and won't feed our poorest children, but we are going to buy nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
what are we
I'm
protecting?
pretty happy with all
what are we protecting with those weapons?
I did see the sign of the shops where, if you're a Tory, turn around and walk the fuck back out.
Well, the Chancellor of the Exchequer got banned from his local pub in his constituency. They don't want him anywhere near it because they're cancer. Yeah. Anyway, but they'll still get voted in because the British public are vermin.
Well, I don't know. Have you seen the latest polls?
Yeah, no.
Labour is pulling within a few points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Keir Starmer will get in, so the Tories will win. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can have a shit left party or even worse right wing party in England. That's where your median voter is.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the British people are vermin.
Again, English. Scotland doesn't have that fucking problem, mate.
You say that. Actually, technically, they are the official opposition in the Scottish Parliament. They're the second largest party. So, check and mate.
They are trying to get the fuck out of there so they can make their own policies and run things the way they like.
And I wish them all the best. I don't want them to leave, but I wish them all the best because
move to Scotland.
I could, but it's very cold.
Well, I'm not going to doubt that is really cold. I always have to bring extra socks.
And I hear their swans can't read.
Manky as well.
Well,
posh
exactly.
Ducks.
Fucking
posh ducks.
Posh ducks. They are. That's precisely what they are. Anyway, talking of manky swans who can or won't he read? That's almost certainly offensive to Scottish people.
Will he read?
Will he read? He will not read. It's old fucking headline boy Karl.
Which is as if they're better than the United States, and I don't know why. The United States isn't perfect, but anyway.
Whoa, time out, motherfucker. You're saying it's not perfect. You're saying there are things that can be... Why are you talking America down? What's going on there, mate?
Yeah, you have to... Except whatever it is, it's perfect.
Yeah.
When you disagree with their policies, they're perfect, and you're the problem, Karl. Not America. America's always perfect.
Exactly. USA. is my riposte. My cultured, learned, nuanced response.
Yes. Just chant brainlessly and mindlessly.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's actually a good lead into what I want to talk to you now. Because what we're talking about when you say, I love something, you are talking about the thing that is, not the thing that could be or was. You are talking about the thing that it is. Otherwise, you would say, I used...
What? Sorry. I'm sorry. This is fucking ludicrous. It is absurd. The idea when you say, I love something, I am loving the thing that is, America doesn't exist. Like, it doesn't have an essence. It's not a material manifestation. It's an idea. It's a bunch of people working together. It's an acceptance of geographical boundaries that we do through social construction. So the idea that there's a fixed thing that has a pure essence that we can all objectively sort of like perceive as one would a liter of water, it just shows that Karl doesn't understand epistemology or how things exist at all. He's talking shite. He's talking utter shite. Like, he would get laughed out of a philosophy class, a 101 philosophy class with this right now.
Yeah, he's an embarrassment.
It's an embarrassment.
He is. I can only apologise on behalf of the British education system. Not that I'm part of that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah. And not just that, but America,
Mm-hmm.
that's suggesting that America is some sort of uniformly levelled place where he loves it, all of what it currently is. Really? Even like the cracked ends?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
If you are a middle class, yeah. If you are a middle class black kid in America, you're still going to have a completely different experience of America than a middle class white kid. Right? You know, if you live in the South, you're going to have a different experience of America than if you live anywhere else in the country. If you're a woman, you're going to have a different experience than someone else. If you're trans or you're cis, you're going to have a different experience of America. There is not a America or an America, because what Karl conceives, of course, is a white, cis, heterosexual, conservative man's view of America. But that is only a construction. It's just an idea in his head.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, but he wants that America. That one.
Yeah, he wants the America in his head of Mad Men, the one of his fantasy. And he can't handle the actual America that exists because it's too diverse for him. It's too wide-ranging. It's too ephemeral and, you know, not even a fixed idea in time.
Well, yeah, but it's only the Soviet Union sending in disinfo agents that have made that happen.
Yeah. It's people complaining who are the problems, not the problems they're complaining about.
Exactly.
I used to love it, or I would love it. You know, I used to love it when, or I would love it if. But no, when you say people who love our country, you're talking about in the here and now, what we can see around us, what we're looking at, what we've got. You know, the real concrete thing. It's not something abstract. And so what this does is...
Yes, it is.
It kind of...
I point to it, Karl. Point to it. Show me America. Like, describe its dimensions, its weight.
Don't, because he'll just
color,
he'll point
density.
at a map. You know he will. He'll just go, it's that bit.
That's America isn't territory.
And probably point at China. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yes. So you're saying America is dirt, okay?
Yeah.
So how has dirt got freedom of speech? It doesn't.
Because of God. Oh no.
Oh man. Oh man. I don't. It's okay. All right. I'm sorry.
He hasn't taken the God pill. He's taken the America pill.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He believes in America, and America believes in him. Okay.
He believes in the America the KKK was trying to sell back in the 1950s.
Yeah. Ironically, he's trying to sell conservatism, which is literally looking back to a previous America and saying, "That's because we love America now," even though no. Anyway.
It kind of gets you away from a sort of romanticized fantasy ideal of the past. You can accept that the past has flaws. You can accept the thing, warts and all. And it also gets you away from an idealized utopian vision of what the thing could be. Because both of these actually are changing what the thing is. What you're saying is the thing is actually not quite how I would actually like it to be. I want it to change, either to be more perfect or to be more like a historic mythic past. But either one is not really being faithful to what it is you have right now. You can't say that I love the thing because actually you want to change the thing. And so it's
What?
really what
You can't.
Trump is.
God, this is nonsense.
Why would you talk about politics at all if you didn't want to change things at all?
Like there's an America that is, but there was an America that's in the past, but there's also the idea of what it could be. And if you don't love it right now for what it is, you can't love it because you want it to be better.
Look, Kristi, America comes in 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. Okay. If you don't love it as it's solid, then you clearly you want it to be liquid or gas, and liquid and gas, as we know, are communist. So
yeah,
that's what we like to call country physics. You're very welcome.
He should have really stuck with anti-feminism videos. At least there he was on some kind of solid ground. This, with his mouth cracking and his dry mouth sounds that are really fucking annoying.
They are
and
very,
cracking
very
all over
irritating,
the mic.
yes. Just take a drink, Carl.
I know, he's just like word salading it. Yes, thank you, Tony. He's just talking shite.
Yeah.
He's just talking utter shite. Some wet-ass politics. Yeah, thank you, Orion.
No, he is on solid ground, Kristi, and that ground is called America. Mm-hmm. Well, technically it's Swindon, but close enough.
Yes.
Is describing when he says people who love our country is people who love it for the particular features that it has. Again, not the fancy version or the idealized version in the past and the future, but the thing that it is.
Wait. Sorry, I'm sorry. Can I just undermine Karl's entire argument here? Make America great again.
Yes! Fuck yes! Sorry.
Is that your point?
That was literally the whole
thing.
thing.
To
Yeah. I said to Kristi, I hope you pick up on the same point. And literally, at exactly the same moment, which you may notice is 4:20, blaze it, he literally says that nonsense, and you literally like, motherfucker, he doesn't love America for what it is. He wants to make it great again. So he's suggesting it's not great
it's
now.
Shit now. Yes.
Oh... It was so nonsense it made my fucking cock ache. That's how annoying that fucking his nonsense was. I'm so glad you picked up on that as well straight away. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm clever. And
we are. Great minds think alike.
Yes, they do.
In the communist echo chamber. Whoa.
Hey, you got your sock shirt on.
I do indeed, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Well, exactly, because I'm American.
Yeah, I've got my dump Trump shirt on because I slept in it for my show yesterday.
And you're also, you are literally American. That is actually true.
And I am American, yes.
Anyway, let's listen to how Make America Great Again means he loves America now.
He doesn't want to change it. He accepts it for what it is. Oh, wait.
In your own sort of understanding, when you think about how you describe the thing, the things that you pick out on it to describe it, the features that you can see of it. And what this is appealing to our aesthetic tastes, our appreciation of art. When you say that you love this thing...
Is he getting paid per time he says aesthetic in this fucking video?
Honestly, I swear to God he got this from Vosh. I swear to God that's where he got this from. The idea of a cosmetic aesthetic, all of that is just he's been listening to Vosh. I'm going to give Vosh the credit on this one. I don't know who else uses that language. I mean, Peter Coffin, they're always talking about like the marketization and all that kind of stuff. He got this from somewhere. It wasn't from Timcast. It wasn't from Ben Shapiro. The only person who frames things often in terms of aesthetics in order to undermine them is Bosch.
Yeah. If you start saying poggers, then I think we're definitely onto something. Definitely.
I think this is the reason why people, on a very visceral gut level, kind of hate it when the progressives come in and say, hey, we're going to have black Spider-Man now, we're going to have Asian Superman, whatever it is they want to.
Yeah.
It's not that people don't want to
racist
see black
white
or
people
Asian
don't
heroes
like
or anything
it.
like that.
Also, I love the fact that he's annoyed at Asian Superman, not at alien Superman.
Yeah. And of course, he's not thinking about how it is for Black Americans to see a Black Spider-Man or Asian Americans to see an Asian superhero. He feels that if he can't dominate the traditional white male roles, that something is being taken away from him. which is a perspective, that's not an objective reality.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just to answer in the chat, Poggers is like a thing that some leftists say, and it's a bit, I cringe at it, I don't like it, but it basically means good or awesome. Yeah.
Oh, is it like their version of based?
Well, some of them are also taken on based, which is even worse. But Poggers is like something good, basically. So it's an affirmation of the thing being described. Like I would say, Kristi is pretty pog, if you ask me. Although if I ever did say that, other than in the context of the joke, did just say it, please kill me. Please actually do that. Anyway,
yeah, I think we're getting a little beyond teenager speak at this point.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, shut up being cringe. Let's go and talk based poggies. Anyway.
Okay.
The all-female Ghostbusters, like, why? Because part of the aesthetic taste of watching the original Ghostbusters films was that there were just a bunch of nerdy guys.
Yeah, I could really believe them capturing aliens and stuff because they had cocks. That was the thing that made that story believable.
Yeah, that was it. Yes. Yeah. Again, it's about why is it that I have to? Everyone else should have to watch white men be heroes. I don't, as a white guy, I don't want to have to watch any other group be a hero. I mean, seriously, this is what you're complaining about in 2020 when kids are going hungry and COVID. Britain has one of the worst excess death rates of anywhere in the world, and this is what you're fucking talking about, Karl.
Yeah. That's his grievance, is female Ghostbusters, because it's still 2015.
Yes, yes, exactly. He's still, again, living in the past. The glorious past when he was relevant.
Oh!
That contributes to a different atmosphere, a different idea of their life paths that have led us up to these points, and the patterns of behavior that we can expect from them, which inform the jokes, it informs the comedy, and it informs our love of the thing. And it's not
white-centered, white male-centered.
I would enjoy watching a film that was different, set in Japan or something like that, whatever it is. It's just, this isn't it.
And if they set it in Japan, they can give Scarlett Johansson the role again. So
yeah, because they're whitewashing Asian characters, as well. He doesn't complain about that, though, does he?
Yeah. Also, White Jesus, anyone? Anyone?
Yeah,
no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something unique. You can't just take a piece of art and think that you can kind of abstract it and industrialize it and replace every component of it and it still be the same thing.
No, exactly. It's called transformation, Karl. Yeah. Like when the dude literally drew a mustache on the Mona Lisa, that was transformational because it's literally taking a sacred artistic piece and essentially graffitiing it to make the point of not paying respect to your artistic elders. It's called transformation, Karl. It's a different piece of art at that point.
How about this? How about the fact, again, Karls' ignorance is just so deep. It's like a black hole. It's infinite. His ignorance is infinite.
A white hole,
Look at the character of Robin Hood. Robin Hood has been is like Kevin Costner doing Robin Hood now, like somehow an aberration. Like we reinvent characters over time to make them reflect our society and the people in it. That is what art does. Art is meant to connect. If you trap it in the past, then it doesn't have the same connection. And that is why we see Arthur being reinvented over the centuries and other things like that. We're seeing Superman being reinvented all the time. The Marvel Universe is being reinvented for a new generation to keep it relevant. So yeah, the idea that art is somehow trapped as this, pure thing that no one can change, it just shows he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Someone said there, next the SJWs are going to make Jesus Jewish. Good, yeah, good point. Which is very good, but
Karl's using Robin Hood. Wait, someone in your chat was pointing out Karl's using Robin Hood in a transformational way on his own Twitter account.
He was talking shit.
Like Greenwood.
He was a communist, clearly, because he stole from the rich and gave to the poor, which is kind of like redistribution of wealth, isn't it, Karl?
Yeah.
Intriguing.
This is just basically another version of don't take away my video game white heroes, white-centric, male-centric video games, but for America.
In nearly 2021. Yeah. Which is pretty pathetic. Like, Karl, when you were making those points, back when you had, a coloured beard, they were vaguely relevant because they were like things that were happening. Now it's just sad.
Honestly, no one's
Gamergate
interested
is
about your
over.
view on aesthetics.
No, he's going to start. He's going to start Gamergate 5.0. It's going to happen, and it's going to be perfect. Trump's definitely going to tweet about it from prison.
Yeah.
It's not. Art is. It creates kind of like pocket universes where they've got their own rules, and they have good and bad. That's the point. The point of a piece of art, a story, is not that everything is perfect and everyone lives in harmony. It's that there is conflict. It's that there is a villain. It's that there is something negative that has to be dealt with, and either overcoming or a kind of.
Okay, but how does?
Well, is he talking about drama or art? Because I don't see how the Mona Lisa has a villain in her painting.
The villain is the observer.
Yeah, this again. He's talking about drama, not art. He doesn't know the difference.
He doesn't know the difference. And also, Carl, how does a black Superman or whatever not have a villain to overcome? The same villain exists in that universe. It's just got different coloured skin.
Yep.
That's the difference. Which again, you can try and get around it however much you like. You're just a racist twat. You're just a sexist idiot. The only difference is the colour of the skin or the sexual presentation of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So if you're offended by that, at least just be honest.
Yeah.
If synergy with that thing has to be understood, or it will be a crushing tragedy. And I mean, all of these things are valid aspects of the human experience to explore with art. But anyway, this is for example, the reason I love classical history is probably the classical warfare, to be honest, and the characteristics of the generals involved. They're very rarely.
I love it because they were killing each other. He's like a 7-year-old.
I like white people who kill other white people. Is that where we're going with
Not
this?
the amazing architecture, the longevity, the philosophy, the development of civilization. No, they were killing each other. They were stabbing and shooting each other with arrows and shit. It was amazing. Oh.
What is he a big fan of Varus and his bones in the Black Forest? I mean, what is or is it Varius? I can't remember. But the guy who got it was okay. Yeah, I mean, what he's like? Not everybody was
in the Teutoburg Forest. Yes, I know what.
Not everyone was fucking Julius Caesar. Right? He was like one guy who was agreed exceptional. But that wasn't typical of all Romans. No. I mean, fucking Pompey got his ass kicked because, well, anyway, we don't have to go in this. But yeah, Mark Antony got his ass kicked. Yeah. Yes. So, like lots of Romans got their asses kicked. They're not all brilliant because, well, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Well, not just that, but
was it
like, what was it? 1 in 3 Roman children didn't make it past the age of 5?
Oh, I'm sure that's the case. Yeah. I mean
let's not go too overboard with how fantastic it was. Anyway. Also, you dickhead, as a British nationalist, you should be appalled at the ancient civilizations because the Romans came here and slaughtered the Britons.
Yes, that's
and enslaved them and shit.
Killed the Germans, killed the French, killed the Britons, enslaved the British, everybody, all along the Mediterranean.
Time out. They didn't kill the French. The Franks didn't exist yet. These were Gauls. Please, let's have it right.
All right, so the Gauls, the Goths, the Visigoths,
well, that's what
and not to mention in the East.
Yeah, I love these French nationalist twats who have taken on Vercingetorix as one of their own. Mm-hmm. He would have despised the French. You're interlopers on his land. The fuck? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's all nonsense. Also, it kind of goes to show that maybe boundaries that we draw on a map and ridiculous distinctions based on race are silly and arbitrary.
Completely fucking arbitrary.
We should stop doing that because it's pointless and divisive. Anyway.
Good. Yep. Like I wouldn't describe them as necessarily good people, and it's very rarely not a charnel house generally. But there's
hang on, because it's not complete slaughter all of the time, that's fine.
Well, look, what Karl is saying is he's fine with a certain level of genocide.
Yeah, as long as they're only killing some of them, it's all right.
Yeah, not all of them.
But if they put black people in video games, that's bad.
That's way worse than what the Romans did.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine that. Imagine pivoting from it's bad to have an Asian Superman to it's fine that people were being slaughtered, but not all of them were, so that's cool.
Yeah. And also, again, all European on European violence there. That's right. He's glorifying the slaughter and destruction of people that are his ancestors.
Well, geographically speaking, correct, yes, but certainly they wouldn't have seen themselves as Aryan white folk because they weren't.
Oh, fuck no. They couldn't even get along as tribes, let alone as a people.
No. Well, exactly as mentioned, the Gauls and the Romans lived next to each other. Didn't end up well, certainly for the Gauls. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, even within the Gaulish tribes, they didn't get along, and cattle thieving and back and forth and all that shit.
Some allied with the Romans and slaughtered fellow Gauls. Mm-hmm. So and also let's bear in mind that some of these people were also from North Africa and Asia. I was just listening to Mary Beards talk about her new book. Well, it was new at the time, about SQVR, and the that they were like people from all over the Roman Empire in Britain, because they had fucking roads and they had trade. And those were one of the things that you came with Roman Empire. Yeah, my favourite piece of the Paul Joseph Watson nonsense about, like, remember when the BBC put out that animation and it had black people in Roman Britain. The beautiful thing about that, I forget what year it was set in, like 74 AD or something, and they found it would be AD, not BC, and they found out that the actual Roman governor of the province at the time was from Leptis Magna, which is in modern day Libya. So we were literally being run by an African at the time. Yeah. But apparently we were so ethnically homogenous that there wouldn't have been any people of colour, and he went, fuck off. Just go away from me, Paul, you're an idiot. Yeah, can I just shout out Lindsay Rogers in the chat here with this take? I can take a little infanticide from back in the day, but don't you dare change that character's sex. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yep. Absolutely fine. Yep. Anyway, should we hear more of this inane rambling from Karl? Oh, yeah. This is a good escape from politics. Tone. We're not hearing anything intelligent. Exactly. I don't want to see changed. I don't want to see that exchanged for something else, because it's part of what gives it the character that it has. It might not be pretty, but it is the thing that it is, and if you change that, then it's no longer that thing that I love. Infanticide. Wants to bring back infanticide. I think this can be compared to, on a cultural level, to the way that our cultures work and the way bring back smallpox. Again, they all have their kind of cultural contours by which we identify the thing and recognize it and appreciate it if it's something we like. It's wait. Pause. Sorry. Way, so the British should never have stopped being like, well, let's just pick a random time period. Victorians. Americans should have never stopped having the Wild Wild West. Yeah. Because that defined America, so we never should have any progress. We should be trapped in time, like in the Dark Ages. To use an example Karl brings up rather often, the Muslimic rape gangs. They're a part of modern Britain, rather disgustingly. Karl, are you suggesting, because you love Britain so much as it is, and you don't want to change it in any way, that we should just allow those rape gangs to continue operating? Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to change Britain in that way. You don't, or any rape gangs. Because that's fundamentally a part of what Britain is now. And Karl loves Britain so much now, and he doesn't want to change it. He doesn't want an idealised future that could be. So we just allow them to continue operating like that's fine. Yeah, or right in the chat, make preventable deaths great again. Exactly. Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, look, all I'm going to say is penicillin was the destruction of civilization. Building the Hadrian's Wall definitely stopped all raiding from the Scots. So Trump is right about building a wall with Mexico. Hey, wait, but building a wall changes the contour of the countries, so we can't do it. It does, indeed. Which is why they also then built the Antonine Wall later on, which was an earthen boundary in Scotland. Yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. Bringing some history knowledge on you. That didn't stop raiding either. The Scots were always fucking raiding. Walls don't work, you dopey bastards. Sorry. Especially in an era when they've got, like, planes. Let's move on. Those are scary, Kevin. We shouldn't fly. Humans weren't meant to fly. Exactly. The Wright brothers were wrong. Why did the Wright brothers inflict their futuristic, idealised future version? We were perfectly fine with the horse and cart. Jesus. Mm-hmm. The Amish were right. All this electricity. All this internet. It's just a destruction of the America that was. Exactly. Go and live with the Amish, Karl. You'd love it, mate.
Yeah, yeah. If you like that, go live with the Amish.
Although, sorry, Amish, I don't want to inflict that on you. That's my
No.
bad. We're doing a joke.
Kind of like a piece of art, an aesthetic achievement.
Aesthetic.
It is
Drink.
the thing that it is because of the characteristics of the thing. And
Actually,
if
you
like
were.
it, great,
Okay.
but you have to accept that the rules are as the rules are, even if there is no
What?
materialistic
What rules?
reason.
Who wrote the rules? Who are the? What are these rules? Where can I look them up? Who
Walt
wrote them?
Disney
Who
wrote the
approved them?
rules about how you can make anything, and he was good in every way. Yeah, Carl's full of
what
shit.
rules?
Yeah, it's the
Again,
Ghostbuster
again.
rule. In order to zap aliens and ghosts and shit, you must have a penis. That's a rule, Krista.
And he must be a white guy.
Well, no, Ernie Hudson, come on now, please.
Well, in sort of like white Jewish, type of, not ethnically Jewish. That would be wrong.
No, hang on.
sort of
Who's the black guy from the? There's a black guy in fucking Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's Ernie Hudson, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I can't remember his name though. His character's name.
Oh, Dave
Winston.
Jenkins.
Winston.
Fuck's sake.
Winston.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
For them being that way.
Yeah, people in
you
the
can't
chat,
find
we got you.
scientific explanation for
named after Winston Churchill, who was a real homeboy. So
something. It doesn't matter really, because it might be that it's a psychological explanation for something. It might be a moral or it might be
What?
totally silly. It might be based in God, a belief in God, or it might be based in just this is the way we've always done it. But the point is,
Unjustified
the fact that
hierarchies.
that is the
this is
reason.
like the drunkard at the bus stop. What are you talking about? It might be
should
God.
just
It might be a belief in the things in it, and that. What do you reckon? Yeah, the bus is here, mate. What?
Yeah. He's talking about arbitrary hierarchies that are usually supported by violence and sustained by wealth stolen from other people.
Winston
Anyway.
Zedmore. I didn't know that was his name. Okay.
Yeah, he says it when he introduces himself at the beginning. I just think of their first names. Well, I guess no, because one of them their last name. But anyway, yeah, Winston. I always think of him as Winston.
And that's why you do it, is what gives the place, the space, its character. And so I found myself thinking about this, like...
Because art's never
if
changed.
if I'm in an English tea room in Cornwall or Devon or something, and someone just started shouting at the table across, I would find that very...
By the way, he's going about Englishness now. There's a significant independence movement in Cornwall. They don't want to be. They don't see themselves as part of
Right.
England. So, I mean,
Yeah.
even the place he chooses hypothetically is a bad example. Anyway,
Hey, do you want to know what other group tried to control art and put limits and define what could be art and what was decadence? and
Communism.
Not art. Oh, I was thinking the Nazis actually, but
no. Well, there's a great
Yeah.
clip actually of George Lucas explaining that about how actually Soviet filmmakers were far more free. But you couldn't criticize the government, to be fair. But
right.
you probably couldn't do that very much in Hollywood either, because you have to be commercially viable. Whereas in Russia, you just made films.
Mm.
There's actually,
You sound. Are you kind of far away from the mic, or is my sound down?
I can move a bit closer. Is that better?
Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit too. I think your volume levels are fine, so that's what really counts for the audience.
Someone said I look like Egon. Fair enough. Not I. They're saying they did. Anyway, never mind. Stan Spengler, Venkman, and Zedmore. Not one of them had
Venkman.
Not one of them had a sensible surname.
Stans.
Jesus.
I don't even remember that. That was Dan Aykroyd's character, right? Because Spengler was Ivan Reitman, and Bill Murray was Venkman. Yeah, but
I don't
Winston
know.
And
I don't know where I stand on that.
on what part?
Stance. Never mind. I was doing a joke. Never mind.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Kristi has to give me affirmation on all of my jokes.
Yeah, we established that before the show. I have to laugh out loud, otherwise Kevin doesn't think that I've gotten a joke.
Exactly. Well, no, I don't even care if you've got the joke. You just have to give me affirmation, mummy.
Yes. Yeah.
Pay me attention.
Validate me.
Exactly.
offensive. You know, that to me would come across as being barbaric, just being loud and boisterous. While everyone's just trying to have a quiet.
Carl is barbaric.
Drink their tea, eat their cucumber sandwiches with the crust cut off, and a little, three-tiered thing.
God, he's such a weird twee twat. What are you talking about? What Englishness are you referring to here?
There was like one place in Colchester where you had to go specifically for high tea, but you don't get cucumber sandwiches down your local.
Yeah, exactly. You can go, there are specific bespoke restaurants that you can go to and have that kind of twee 1920s Jeeves and Worcester fucking tea party if you want to.
Yeah.
But that's not England. That's never been England. That's always just been some posh, idealised...
Oh, come on. You know the coal miners would come out for their tea and crumpets in their breaks, Kevin, and they were coming out and eating finger-food cucumber sandwiches before working, down the mine.
Well, often the time before my father would go to work in the car factory, he'd have, some foie gras and crackers and, absolutely, in fine bone china with his finger out like that. Delicious.
People now don't do the shit he's talking about.
Well, now he's virtually no one ever did. Like I say, it's like a PG Woodhouse imagination land, which is fine because that's
very much is.
That's like a very specific section of society and an idealised version thereof in a fucking novel. That's fine, right? But that's never what England has been. So not only does he not understand America, he doesn't understand here either. Anyway, populist Karl thinks that tea and cucumber sandwiches with a crust cut off are the bread and butter of the English. I mean,
I had to go out of my way to eat cucumber sandwiches when I lived there. And I was there for like 8.5 years.
Yeah, Americans come here and they're like, it's nothing like what I imagined. And you ask them what they imagined, and it's the thing Karl described, but he's lived here. What?
It's basically like the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes version, Yeah,
it's basically imagine Pride and Prejudice, right? That's what Karl's thinking of now in his head. But that's not an England that ever really existed for 99% of people, even at the time that it ever did exist.
Yeah.
Oh, I find that would be in his own the height of barbarism to me. That's the
height of barbarism, not like murder. Shouting in an English tea room is the height of barbarism.
Imagine that.
What kind of he wouldn't like what the English Empire did. Is this? What are you talking about, Karl?
If he finds that offensive, he should find out what the British did in India. Or the way that they got an entire group of people addicted to opium in order to get favorable trade relations.
To be fair, though, right, those people were definitely very rude while they were trying to have their cucumber sandwiches. You had no choice but to fire on those protesters. They were making a racket while we were trying to have afternoon. We were trying to have 11s, and they had to step in the way.
They wanted self-determination and autonomy. And that just could not stand.
Nah, fuck that noise. No.
S&M. Even M&S, doesn't have cucumber sandwich.
Yeah, it's not. Trust me, anyone who thinks... sorry to disabuse you of this notion, Americans. If you have this notion of this twee England that Karl's just described there, by all means, you can continue to believe it if you want, but I just have to tell you, that isn't remotely, at all, in any respect, what England is like. At all.
No. It's just a picture, a traditional sort of maybe 18th century sort of building, but converted for modern times. People drinking pints of beer and then eventually shouting at each other and getting in fights in the streets. That's
and frankly, alarming and rising rates of casual racism as well. Yeah, that's England basically. But to be fair, that's sort of always been England to some extent.
Yeah.
That's much more representative, even of the time when the twee fucking nonsense existed. The most recently mentioned thing that Kristi said, that was more representative. If you look at Gin Street and Beer Street, the Hogarth images, which we've got actually one of in the happy hour bits, if we go through
bookmarks.
Not in the bookmark, in the images thing. There's a Hogarth thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know which one it is. We'll wait for it to come round, and I'll show everyone. But yeah, those were etchings from the 18th century.
Right.
And they're basically the same thing. That's what England has always sort of been to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, let's just like England expelled all Jewish
This
people
one,
in the Middle
sorry,
Ages.
this one. Look,
Yeah.
that's the kind of
That's what Karl
rowdiness,
wants to take us.
drunkenness. Maybe not so much eating bones in the street. I think that's a bit overdone. But yeah, anyway.
Well, if it was a turkey leg kind of thing.
Yeah,
But,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
England expelled all Jewish people, and for centuries did not let them back in.
Yep.
So who are the brutes?
Well, to be fair, the Jews never quite got on board with the cucumber sandwich thing. Like, we don't
I
mind
think they were given a
assimilating
chance,
people. They were white enough that they could have pretended not to be Jewish, but yet they decided to continue being Jewish, so we kicked them out. You know?
Yeah. They maintained their sense of identity. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Exactly.
They didn't accept forced conversions
Indeed.
and
But
pogroms.
we've always been really tolerant. Anyway,
Yes.
so
Not a racist country at all.
oh, look at Carl's long look. I mean, I know that's an image on the screen rather than the thing he's actually looking at, but look at that.
Yeah.
The look of longing he's pining for Trump there. Oh,
Yeah. Well, he's basically pining for a day when being a white man got him everything he wanted, and
Yeah.
he didn't have to actually deal with anyone's complaints because they didn't have a voice or any rights, or you could intimidate them into silence.
indeed.
Yeah, it's impolite, blah, blah, but that's not always the case, and it's not just that it's impolite in that space. It's kind of like profaning a sort of ritualistic area. Like if I were to enter
like
a mosque
politics.
with my shoes
It's
on or
not a
something, it might not
church.
mean anything.
You're talking about an English tea room, you dopey bastard.
Karl deliberately set out to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what was the term he just used? Make profane the political process.
Yeah,
His entire run was 2 fingers up and not taking democracy seriously.
yeah.
So,
And I would suggest that's a far more important ritualistic space than fucking tea room. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do we want to carry on for much longer, or?
yeah, I'm actually been kind of entertained by this. So
Oh,
let's
okay. Yeah.
keep going before we.
Thing to me,
Also, that
the
face,
intruding
great.
barbarian, but I'm sure it means a lot to the people who live and create the space. When I do
He's
this,
now sorry.
I'm sure
sorry,
this is.
sorry.
why
Can we just pause?
this-
He's now worried about the feelings of the imaginary people in the imaginary tea room with the imaginary person shouting, and that's really worrying him. Those are the things we should be concerned about. Are the imaginary people's feelings, Kevin?
Yeah. Often my first thought is how would the operator of a twee 18th century English tea room feel about this? Which is,
Yeah,
to be
it doesn't
honest,
exist.
a lot more difficult to fit on a bracelet than what would Jesus do. But I am who I am.
God, yeah, we need to protect the people I've just invented in my fantasy world.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway,
It's a genuinely
yes,
there's a
Karl is the Daily
genuinely
Mirror come to life.
understandable thing that the people who
Mail,
own and
Daily
operate
Mail.
that space can be expected to.
yeah, I was about to say the Daily Mirror is a
And
reasonably leftist paper.
Yeah, I was reading the chat and I realized they meant mail. So
Yeah, I think they do mean male, but
Them.
yeah. Anyway.
I think it is this violation of these kind of aesthetic rules and
the ones he's just made up.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say character because it's too.
You could edit this,
I
Carl.
feel like saying like the mythology of the thing. The thing.
I
that when
feel
you
like
look back on it, you realize that you felt differently in a particular space because of the qualities of the space, and it was only the behaviors that people manifested and repeated and all agreed to that gave the space that character. And so it would be,
Fuck's sake.
you know,
Firstly, edit, you fucking lazy bastard. Secondly,
Also,
take a drink, please, for the love of God.
Yes.
If you smack your lips one more time, I'm going to fucking explode.
I know it's so disgusting.
And
So disgusting.
and thirdly, Carl, so you want all people to act in a certain way in line with rules that you have invented in a certain kind of space that you want created. Would that be a kind of, how would I say, a
Collectivist?
kind of safe space that you're after here?
Also, isn't he talking about sort of like a collectivism versus like individual?
Exactly,
autonomy?
Carl. Yeah, you're not really respecting the individual rights of the barbarian here, are we? Outrageous.
equally wrong to shout in an English tea room as it would be to wear your shoes in the mosque. And
no, it wouldn't. No, no, Carl.
No.
One is a religious space. Now, I'm no fan of religion, although apparently you are, but you don't seem to understand the sanctity of religion at all. I mean, shouting in an English tea room would be very rude, and the owner would be within their rights to ask you to leave. That's fine.
Yeah,
but,
and they could ban you.
Yeah, indeed. That's fine. But you're not really offending anyone's sensibilities re their view of the creator of everything. Whereas with the mosque thing, you kind of are. And not just that,
I mean,
but you do literally, if you are a Muslim, you do literally prescribe to a pre-existing set of rules, including taking your fucking shoes off when you go into the house of prayer. Whereas when you go into an English tea room, it's because you might be a little bit hungry and or thirsty.
Yeah, I went to the Cologne Cathedral pre-pandemic to take somebody around, and they were handing out basically shawls for anyone who had, women who had bare shoulders, because there was too much flesh on display for the church. So, he talks about the mosque, but he can easily talk about Christianity. He just chooses not to.
True. To be fair, did you have to perform several abortions in there as well, Kristi? That seems unnecessary. Provocative, I would suggest.
False analogies. Logical fallacy.
Exactly.
If we are to respect one another in that, then it's perfectly desirable. I think that's a good idea. If I was going to go into a mosque, I would take my shoes off if I was, if that's what I was requested to do. But if you come into an English tea room,
they wouldn't let you in.
You shouldn't be shouting. You should probably keep your voice down for consideration of the people around you who are trying to have their
own.
own.
Whoa! What's with this collectivist nonsense, Carl? What do you think? We live in a society or something?
For fuck's sake, Carl, have you not read Locke?
Exactly. He clearly hasn't read Locke.
I mean, I don't think Locke deals with anything like that, but it's just funny.
Well, probably not, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You can say it to anything because it's just as relevant, by which I mean not remotely relevant to anything. Yeah. He's a writer from 300 years ago. Get over it, Carl. Fucking hell.
Polite private conversations and don't really want to be disturbed. I mean, you're ruining the atmosphere, which is why we came here in the first place.
Exactly. We all wanted to pretend to be dainty English ladies.
Yes.
There's a fainting couch over there. I wanted to be fucking Heathcliff, and my wife wanted to be Jane Eyre or whatever. I think I'm mixing up fucking novels now, but you get the idea. It's a joke.
EP. But EP. I only stopped because I ran out of coat hangers. That's right.
True.
I should have brought a second.
Well, I suggested a bath of gin, but you said no. That seems a bit extreme, Kev. Jesus, some people.
Yeah. Oh.
But it's rarely a two-way street, is it? I think that's one of the things that is being objected to by with people's support for Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump...
Oh, was he talking about Donald Trump? I've totally lost for the last 10 minutes, he hasn't mentioned anything. He was talking about fucking Ghostbusters and Asian Superman, English tea rooms. The fuck has this got to do with Donald Trump any way?
It's a stream of fucking consciousness. I don't even think he knows what he's going to.
I think it's a stream of unconsciousness. It's not just a stream of it's psychobabble. It's nonsense.
It is.
I feel that America has been taken advantage of, and I feel like it's being run down and degraded.
Yeah,
Americans having opinions?
I think Jeff Bezos has done precisely that, Carl, yes. I suspect that's not where you're going, but yeah, I think America has been taken advantage of by rich people like Donald Trump.
Yes. Exactly.
And, I mean, in many ways, you probably describe it as humiliated. And this is what I think that Trump and his supporters are at the very base of it, in the gut, the gut. That's what they're trying to push back on. And it's not about
Can you
science.
pause it?
There's...
Yeah. So there is a certain jingoistic idealism of America that gets sold to a certain group of people. And when
Idiots.
that is when counterfactuals are presented and the flaws are pointed out, they feel embarrassed or they feel uncomfortable. Well, people who live with that discomfort all the time, they have rights too, and like freedom of speech and they should have the right to vote. One person, one vote. But Carl isn't worried about those people. He's only worried about the reactionaries.
Yeah, absolutely. Precisely. Oh, he's looking sleepy.
Sleepy Carl.
Ah.
There's no science that a leftist can bring to this conversation because we're not having a conversation about science. We're having
we know. We know, Carl. We know.
Yeah, we're having a conversation about the social construction of reality that's grounded in personal experience. But you reject all of that postmodernism, Carl. So what are you doing even talking about these things?
Yeah, we're not talking about facts, Kristi.
We're talking about his feels.
Feels don't care about your facts, Kristi.
Yes, we're talking about lived experiences. Wait. Those are illegitimate, I thought. Oh, it's when racist white people talk about it. That's valid. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We need to listen to Cletus, definitely. But but George Floyd, no, that's silly. That's all
right,
feels.
Exactly. Some people have valid opinions in Carl's mind, and they happen to have the skin color. They have to have the skin color he has.
Yeah.
Conversation about the way people feel. And people feel like they're not being listened to. They feel that the impact of immigration,
white racists
is
feel like
causing
this
cultural difference, that we are being
racists.
Sea Beach sums it up. It seems like he's doing Mad Libs. It is. Yeah, it's just end sentences with the. It doesn't matter, and he's clearly got the word aesthetic stuck in his head because he's ending most sentences with that. So yeah.
Expected
Nonsense.
to respect, but this respect is not a two-way street. And that's not fair, is it?
What does that mean?
Oh, kind of like wait. Kind of like spaces that are created so that people of color in Britain can talk about their experiences of racism. Other people shouldn't go in there and be rude, right? Or demean that because they've created that space and their feelings are valid.
I'm going to say my pause game is on fucking fleek tonight. Look at that. That is glorious. Anyway, but yeah, no, you actually make a serious point, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Carl, what do you mean? It's not a two-way street. What does that remotely mean?
Yep.
I genuinely, I'd like you to explain. He doesn't. I've seen this video, but I'd like him to explain.
Is what gives them their attachment to it and their willingness to enforce the standards that give it the character that it has. And I think this is the fundamental essence of moralization. And what we need to do is remoralize ourselves to be able to make these arguments from a position that doesn't depend on science.
Of white power.
That doesn't depend on science. Brilliant.
What is he talking about?
Nonsense.
What is he
Utter
talking
nonsense.
about?
Yeah. It's just gibberish.
What science would you even bring to this conversation about social norms and the social construction of like practices and identities and all of that?
I told you, Kristi, America can come in solid, liquid or gas. That's what we're talking about. Country physics. Absolute nonsense.
That makes more fucking sense than what Carl's saying.
Yeah, the thing I made up makes more sense than the thing he's saying.
Yeah. I could definitely do a bullshit analogy to solid liquids and gases in terms of like national identity and perceptions of America as a permanent thing than he's talked about in any part of this video.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would be talking shit. I would be talking shit to do that, but I could actually put something together that would make more sense than this.
Almost certainly, Kristi, yes.
The fourth state is plasma.
America,
you come in with your newfangled science,
exactly,
Orion.
with your postmodernist, neo-Marxian fucking plasma. Jesus, Frankfurt's exactly Horkheimer and his fucking American plasma nonsense.
Can depend on how we feel about it because we are the people who live in our countries right here, right now.
Oh,
if you're a person who lives in
what
this
about
country,
the people that disagree with you? Don't they live in your countries?
Like
no. They're not allowed
There's only
to.
one right view, and it's his, because white skin and penis, Kevin.
There's only one far right view, and it's his. I don't know.
I see what you did.
And it's completely valid. It's totally empirical. You can point to the thing you're talking about. However,
how is it empirical if it's not about science?
It's not empirical.
What is this thing that's just, here's a bunch of components? It's like, okay, but when you put all those components together, you get something that the human perceives, the human experience allows you to perceive.
No, it's not a human
that is more than the sum of the components. So even...
Can we just pose it? Sorry. He's talking about a white-centered, cis male-centered perspective on life as being the only thing that counts. That's really what this
Yeah,
comes down to.
I mean, that is fundamentally it. But what he's actually saying is some nonsense about putting components together.
Well, I mean, again, this is a social construction of reality. If you have a space, that doesn't make it a tea room. If you have a space that, like is a restaurant, that doesn't make it a tea room. There's like, things that you put together
No,
and
Kristi.
that people then agree that this is a tea room. But it's not like that thing is fixed. Like some people who want a tea room might want to have silver platters on, and other people might not. But that doesn't mean it has an existence. It's not a thing in itself.
No, Kristi. All things are tea rooms. All of them. Anything else is postmodernism.
Yes, there's that aberrant group that think that cucumber sandwiches with the crust can still be a tea room.
Revisionist scum.
And he wants to take his personal subjective interpretations and say this is objective truth.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit.
Yeah, down with the crustaceans. Okay? They're degenerate filth. All of them.
If you can identify all of these things, it really doesn't matter because they mean nothing when taken out of their context, and they only mean something in their context. And so you taking it out of its context and saying, well, look, this doesn't mean anything, is actually
you can take tea out of it.
Understand what's happening. But this, I think, is...
See, so we can edit. That jump cut, that was that. Also, this is still on the... Why is this still on the screen? You haven't talked about Trump virtually at all in this whole video. When he was talking about tea rooms, he still had Trump on the fucking screen.
Oh, yeah, he talked about Trump for like the first minute, and then he's just left him up there. I guess he didn't have any good headlines to replace it with.
Yeah, well, in that case, just take it down and just center yourself on the screen.
Also, the idea that if you take tea out of a tea room, tea no longer has any context.
Tea, yeah, if you take it out of a tea room, it doesn't exist anymore. Tea isn't really a thing; it's more like a metaphysical concept. If you take it out of the tea room, what neither the tea room exists or the tea. Nothing exists. The only thing keeping the fabric of the space-time continuum together is the combination of tea and room.
Yes. If without that, everything falls apart.
See, the nonsense I made up still makes more sense than his nonsense.
Yes.
And I made up the most absurd thing I could with the combination of tea and room I could. And it still makes more sense than his shit.
Where Trump's succeeding. And this is where I think the sort of the intellectual development of, I mean, I don't want to just call it right wing, but in fact, I think the term patriot is actually a lot more pertinent.
Anyone who calls themselves a patriot is a fucking idiot, a racist idiot, almost always. I've never met anyone who doesn't do that. Now, that's not to say if someone asks you if you're a patriot. I'm saying someone who, apropos of nothing, describes themselves as a patriot is almost certainly a fascist.
They'll hide behind that nationalism, absolutely, in order to justify their just shitty attitudes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That Orwell was drawing between nationalism and patriotism.
Oh, God.
Orwell.
Stop quoting Orwell.
The actual socialist. Who, again, Carl, it's always worth pointing out with these people, your nonsense about free speech absolutism. He went to Spain to very conclusively deplatform people, fascists specifically, from being able to breathe.
Yes, I was going to say it was a pretty extreme form of deplatforming.
It was. You might describe it as the ultimate form of deplatforming. He went there to shoot them dead. Yes.
Right-wing people who quote Orwell just
idiots. Fucking idiots. Yeah. I mean, I still think it's the greatest piece of nonsense I've ever seen, was the breakdown between Michael Knowles and Dave Rubin on Prager, one of the Prager shows, about 1984. Now, considering PragerU will accuse everyone to the left of Genghis Khan of being Stalin, they didn't mention Stalin once in their description of 1984, which is absolutely a deconstruction of Stalinism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they don't know.
Yeah, they just went on about cancel culture and stuff, and you're like, you fucking people are morons. The one time you could have legitimately accused something of being Stalinist, and you didn't. But you'll accuse Joe Biden of being like Stalin? What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't know if I've got it saved, actually, but someone put out, there's an image that the right wing are using of, they've photoshopped Chairman Mao with the face of Joe Biden. It's the funniest thing. I love it. Anyway, get it tattooed on my balls.
patriotism being the
Ouch.
love of the thing, and nationalism being a desire for power for an abstract version of the thing. You know, whatever you can call it, the people, the nation state, the people, whatever.
Really? So, I mean, again, that's an amazing still.
The thing.
Yeah. Carl, the fact that both you and Donald Trump have described yourself as nationalists, therefore, would mean you think you're both bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. You're a civic nationalist, Carl, self-admitted.
Carl isn't anything. Carl isn't anything.
No.
He's an amorphous blob
Again, the
of
pause.
shit right-wing ideas.
Your pause game is on fleek.
It is, absolutely. I'm absolutely killing it with his weird... Also, his teeth are atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean, my teeth, don't get me wrong, my teeth are bad
straighten
too.
out.
But that's look, he's got a different row of teeth, like a fucking shark. What?
Maybe he is part shark.
Maybe he is. I heard his great-granddad was a black shark. So
A great white shark.
a great, very, very white shark, yeah.
Whatever it is, it's something that's abstract. But the patriotism aspect is for the love of the thing. But anyway, I think this is where sort of patriotic thought needs to dig. I think this is the furrow that we need to plow. And I think that is actually an effective counter to the radical left.
Radical
Because you'll notice that they
left!
apply this kind of thinking to every culture that isn't our own. They apply...
What do you mean, our own, Carl? Because you're talking about Donald Trump, and you're from Swindon.
By his logic, the revolutionaries in the American Revolution were destroying America.
Well, Britain.
Because,
Please.
Yeah, sorry, British America. Yes, by criticizing no taxation without representation.
Which is ironic, because taxation's worse than slavery. So...
Yeah, according to Carl.
No slavery without
Or it's
representation.
just like slavery. It's like slavery. Yeah.
All cultures are beautiful. Look at this weirdo barbarian culture where Reza Aslan eats some brains because some Indian witch doctor does. It's like, okay, why do I have to accept that? Oh, well,
no.
Sorry, have you tried haggis, Carl?
Yeah.
Don't criticize people eating brains in India when there's fucking haggis.
Also, do you know what they put in sausages, Carl?
Raccoon assholes and boot leather?
Yeah, partly it's the 3 Bs, they call it. Bones, bollocks, and brains.
Yes. Mechanically reclaimed chicken parts.
Which includes brains, Carl. You've almost certainly eaten brains in your life. At least the Indian witch doctor doesn't hide that from you.
Look, I'm just saying haggis is awful. Not awful, it's OFAL.
It's awful.
Right? So
awful.
Yes. Awful. Yeah. So if he's going to complain about certain types of awful,
I'm going
to look in his own backyard.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll just say it. I like haggis. It's disgusting.
Really?
Don't think about what it is. Just I'll be honest. I would eat a dog shit if it tasted like chocolate. I don't give a fuck, right? It is awful and awful, but it tastes really nice. So I'd happily eat haggis again.
People eat it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But the idea again, Carl hold this exceptionalism thing as if we haven't got. Look, there's virtually no problem you could mention about some other civilization, some other culture, whatever, that doesn't also exist here to some extent.
Yeah,
it's
and
a quirk of history that we've ended up being richer. That's the difference.
When countries in Western democracies tell their story, they frame it in terms of like expansion of rights, a continual process of breaking down old structures and expanding democracy, like suffrage and things like that. But Carl would hate those things because they stopped the earlier thing from existing as it was.
Thank you, Colin, in the chat. Bollocks are delicious too. Okay.
Rocky Mountain oysters, I think they're called in some places.
What, testicles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think some sort of animal testicles, like elk or something.
Oh, right. I thought it was a sexual thing. I thought you were
no,
going
it's a food thing.
More down Urban Dictionary lane than
No, I'm going down some culinary lane in western parts of the United States.
Okay, well, let's not bring it down by talking about America.
Or bollocks.
Or bollocks, yeah.
For its aesthetic quality, it is what they do. It's their tradition, it's their rituals.
Dick.
Okay. Well, then we have our own. But the problem is, of course, we don't know what our own are. What are our rituals? What are our traditions? What?
Hang on, Carl. Carl, you were going on about rules that have been set down.
Yes.
So what are you defending if you don't even know what it is?
And they change over time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would still be going around wearing wigs.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but I'd like to point out to homophobes who are really, touching men is gay. Up until the Victorian era, men hold hands all the time. If you look back at old paintings of like military men and stuff, they would happily walk down the street holding each other's hand. It was a sign of friendship between men. It was never seen as anything remotely sexual.
Oh, wow. It's almost as if culture evolves over time and changes.
Yeah, things change. It's fine. Absolutely fine.
And I'm not saying in a teleological sort of sense of evolution towards a goal. It just evolves in terms of it's adapted. It's affected by other things that come into the environment, like trade and technology and, natural disasters and everything. But we're constantly changing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is constant flux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like language.
Yeah.
We're not speaking Shakespearean English, are we? We're not speaking how they wrote, the language in which they wrote, what was that famous old poem? Really old one of the first ones.
Beowulf.
Beowulf, yes.
Yeah, Old English.
You couldn't read that today.
No.
You can't fucking read it.
Or Chaucer. Chaucer's barely readable, and that's the sort of seen as the start of modern English, and it's very little to do with it. But anyway,
Yep.
I mean, thou might claimest, wench, not to be speaking
Yes.
Shakespearean English.
Yeah, because I use thou and thee all the time.
Exactly.
Thou, thee, and thine.
Whomst. Anyway.
Why are we like we are? And this is something that has, I think, been deliberately undermined by academics who are radical leftists and their activists and they're useful idiots in the media. And so this is what we're doing over on the Greenwood podcast, myself and Scott Mannion. We've been recording these once a week and I've been really enjoying them because I've been working on this sort of view of what it is to be a patriot for some time
G.K. Chesterton.
Reading deeply in the subject.
Although they've spelt it G.K. Chesterton.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've spelt it G.K.
Chesterton.
Chesterton. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why you put an S in that at all, but okay, well done. Or maybe it's a different person I've never heard of. I don't know.
I don't know who this person is anyway.
You don't know G.K. Chesterton?
Not at all.
You should look into it.
Oh, great.
It
sounds like
here. And I think
waste of time.
That is
Oh,
important.
no, it is. Yeah, you don't need to. It's just a famous old English writer.
Here.
Okay.
And I think that, if I was going to term it...
Oh, I thought it was Scott Mason you were talking about.
Maybe...
Or Manson.
No, not Scott Mannion. G.K. Chesterton. The fact that they're invoking yet another English writer from the past who would probably hate both of them. I don't know Scott Mannion, but if he's podcasting with Carl, he's probably a cunt. Let's be honest.
Yes, I mean, he wouldn't consider Carl a purebred Englishman if his ancestry is as Carl claims, after all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe on the new website I'll write some actual thoughts about it properly, rather than just giving you.
Oh, please do, Carl. That would be enlightening for all of us.
Because it's been a long day.
Yeah, he's just admitted he rambles.
I was talking about nourishing content, a way of remoralizing us, actually finding
Shits
something good and decent about our own cultures that we can then explain as to why we want these cultures.
Colonialism, good and decent.
Carl, I mean, I haven't listened to any of this because, there's only so much suicidality I can deal with. But I'm guessing it would be fart huffery of the worst kind. I mean, look at the background this cunt has chosen. Books in an English country. Look, it might even be green screened, I don't know. And then Carl with his British flag, oh, God. What a load of old... Yes. They've even got Britannia in the corner. Oh, for fuck's sake. End me.
Yeah, rebellious Scots to crush, right, Carl? So you're going to also have to hate on the Scots and the Welsh and everyone else to go back to the days of yore that you long for?
Indubitably.
Yes, the biggest mistake was Great Britain.
No, the biggest mistake was Carl's dad not pulling out.
I'm not going to argue that point at all.
It's not just the technological innovations or the material quality of life or anything like that. Even though these are obviously very positive benefits to the culture that we have and the behaviors that we reproduce, but it's more than that. There's a kind of character to them that is important, that does need to be defended. And we've got to figure out why,
What?
where
What's he
it's
talking
come
about?
from, what we're basing this on, you know, where the tradition originates.
Yeah, what are you basing
and
this
what
idea
good
on?
it did for people, because I think this does do good for people. And like I said, that's what we're exploring over on the Greenwood podcast for English history. At least at this point, maybe, you know, in 5 years' time or something, we'll happily move on to another culture. But I think it's important that the English-speaking world has a better understanding of its own origins.
Why's he got a
its
Canadian
own
flag on it as
reason for being, and the fact that
There's also a Canadian flag for some reason. Okay.
Oh, is that a maple leaf?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. But
Commonwealth?
why
No,
you,
but okay.
Why are you getting all? Why are you getting all ethnically diverse? Is that the correct phrase? Multicultural, whatever.
This just sounds like whining white conservative guys.
Yeah.
Is what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Why does the world have to change?
Yeah. yeah, just incoherent fucking nationalist ranting.
Reactionary.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
the reason that it did well and that people believed in it, because I really think that that's been undermined. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. And honestly, I totally recommend it. Because like I said, this will be the sort of content, not exclusively the sort of content, obviously, but this is the direction of the new website. Is I want to do things that are nourishing, that are going to make us more whole people, more rounded people, rather than splintering
But
off
just
parts of our
conservative white
personality,
guys.
as the left want to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you've always produced such great wholesome
Fine.
content. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
his first thing was Trump basically saying, if you don't love the country the way I do, you hate it. But he wants to, bring unifying content.
Yeah, Carl, you wouldn't even produce wholesome content.
Yeah, it's exactly like, Lindsey Graham saying, look, if you are a black person or an Asian person living here, you can walk around just fine as long as you're a conservative.
Yeah, exactly. But this, I mean, like, just the idea that Carl produces wholesome content, like, you literally go around saying, I
No.
wouldn't even rape you to people. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, to say that we're the ones trying to demoralize, like, are you fucking mental?
Carl wants to be the savior of 19th century Western civilization.
Yeah. Well, can we build a time machine? Actually, no, don't send him back, because he might change things and everything will be worse. Maybe he did. Maybe someone sent him back and he's changed stuff, and that's why 2020 is so shit. Who knows? We're basically done with this twat, because he's just going to advertise his clothes afterwards.
Yeah,
So
he's desperate for more streams of monetization. So
Indeed. Although it was good to see that Stephen Crowder got his monetization back, so yay.
What?
Didn't change
Fucking
anything, didn't take a
YouTube.
single video down. Nonsense.
Fucking YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I saw this from March that I had a video removed from the happy hour, something about revisiting the edgelords, but that was taken down.
Oh, well, I've had loads. I've had most of my strikes have been on happy hour episodes. Yeah, anyway. Should we do some bookmarks? Do you want to go first, or should I go first, or what?
I guess you've got the screen up, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's easy enough for me to share, but it just seems easier to stick with your screen.
Okay. So, Mitch McConnell, who is, I think, decomposing. I think that's
Before our
actually
eyes.
like a fucking bruised peach.
Yeah.
He basically announcing that he's trying to pass a bill, a COVID relief bill, with no money, so it's not going to provide any relief. So it's just COVID. He's just trying to spread COVID. Then it's not relief.
By the way, I'm gonna do a D&D joke. His phylactery was broken. That's a Lich reference for all you D&D players out there.
Okay. I just want to disavow any D&D related content here for the good of my soul. Anyway, typical Trumpian nonsense. Kayleigh McEnany providing this is a book of all the things Trump's done to help with the COVID or healthcare, right? And it was literally empty. It didn't have any. It's just an empty book.
I did hear that there were copies of executive orders that have no force in law, and also a bunch of congressional Republican reports on like what could be done, but there wasn't actually a healthcare plan anywhere in there.
No.
You want to talk about aesthetics?
Yeah.
That's
Indeed.
it.
Yeah. Great conspiracy theory that the three banners of the anti-fascist they're comparing that to Joe Biden's thing now.
Well, I mean, he is anti-fascist, but he's not like a supporter of communism.
No, but just because it's in his thing, Biden needs to move to China. He would fit right in. What? So I love that. That's an amazing because the Biden E has 3 red stripes on it. So apparently he's an evil communist. This is amazing, right? The Trump celebrity list, right, from Breitbart.com. Most of whom you're saying who or I forgot that person was still alive. John Voight being one.
Yes.
James Woods.
By the way, 50 Cent took back his endorsement.
He did. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he still doesn't want to pay his fucking tax, but he's still, he said that he doesn't like Trump. Lee Greenwood. Who?
Who? I don't even. Yeah.
Country music
country song
person. Yeah.
Again,
50 Cent.
white culture.
Although he's taken it
Who's
back.
now? Yeah.
What else we got? Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Surprise. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr, Nazi. Kid Rock, Jesus. Dean Cain, you are scraping the bottle of several barrels.
All right, I'm gonna need sunglasses for all this whiteness that we're scrolling through right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is this?
Kristi Swanson. Who's that?
No idea.
She is the star of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Apparently, I don't. Who? What? I watched that show and I don't remember her.
No, I don't remember her either.
No, apparently she is. Oh, there she is.
James.
Robert.
Who?
Davy.
Who?
The license to
Goonies 2?
Expendables 3 and Goonies 2. Oh, brilliant.
We're really scraping.
Scott.
We're really opening up the.
Scott Baio.
We have a very loose definition of stars here.
Yeah. Ted Nugent. Oh, wow, what a surprise.
Oh.
Yeah. Anthony Sabato Jr.
General Hospital. When was that? When did that go off air? Like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Trace Adkins.
Again, another country star.
Music person.
Yeah, old white guys. Definitely his demo.
Johnny Rotten, old white guy.
Yep.
Phil Robertson.
Another old white guy.
Old white guy. Isaiah Washington.
Again, no idea who this person is. What's he in?
Former star of Grey's Anatomy.
So he was in a TV show once.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, so we're a lot of people.
David Mamet.
Old white guy.
Old white guy, and that's it.
I mean, it's 80% old white guys, which is basically the only people who are voting for him, and a few sort of like other demos, in very small proportions.
Yeah, but also, like, who cares? That's not a celebrity list. That's nothing. No. That's nothing. Anyway.
Hey, can you entertain the plebs while I go and top up some water?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, because unlike Carl, I want to smack my way through this show.
Wow. Kristi and her standards for audio broadcast. Anyway. Scott Baio. Old crazy Scott Baio. How are we, chitty chats? Johnny Rotten surprises you. Well, that's the thing. It should be surprising because he used to be reasonably sensible human being. But no, he's gone very right wing in recent times, which is all rather a shame. In the 1992 film, okay. I could be listing as the Celebrity Big Brother list, absolutely. Yeah, abso-blinking-lutely. Oh, hello everyone in the chat. How are we all? Shocked it took that long to start podcasting. Oh, well, I think he's done other things, podcasting wise, Carl. Doesn't really matter, but you know. Whatevs. What have we got next coming up? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that thing, the army base. A lot of those people on the list are anti-trans. Yeah, obviously there's Trump supporters. Like, of course they're anti-trans. They're trash. Yeah, a lot of punks are pissed off at Rotten because Johnny Rotten's literally just the disgusting old man he once railed against.
Yes, hello, I'm back.
Anyway.
And yes, he is. He's basically become the thing that he criticized.
Indeed, but as you've nipped off, I'm going to nip off for a quick piss.
Oh, okay.
Because I got a tiny little bladder.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. We were talking about Johnny Rotten or something. I don't know.
Okay, just the individuals there.
Yeah.
right in the group. The other thing that those people, oh, you can dip off.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing, of course, that all those people have in common, being celebrities, is that they are way richer. Those people aren't working for minimum wage. Those people don't have to worry about their health care being under threat if they lose their jobs because of the COVID pandemic and the shutdowns. So they don't have as much to lose, you know. So the actress was a star of the movie Buffy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, all right. I didn't see that. I watched the series, but I didn't recognize her. So thank you for that clarification. So how else are people in the chat doing? You guys seem pretty entertained by the Karl stuff. You know, one of the things that I realized when I was filling up my water and sort of like processing the Karl thing is how much he's sort of drawing on like postmodernism and notions of art from continental philosophy and things like that. The things that he was been railing against all this time, he's now trying to appropriate and use in service of his, you know, white power agenda, which I just thought was, you know, just shows how little he knows. I mean, it does melt my brain to watch the Sargon videos. So what else? Don't know if everybody saw it. I'll just mention that Kevin and I did another trash movies. That ended up being a pretty fun episode. So I would recommend, if you haven't seen it, to go back and watch that if you're looking to get away from politics a little bit. And I don't know what Kevin has in his bookmarks, but I have some very interesting results from political polls, I think, or one of the polling Twitter accounts I follow. They'd sent out a tweet where they had surveyed people, not who were intending to vote, but who would actually cast their votes in a series of swing states, including Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And the breakdowns between turnout for people who have already voted for Trump and Biden in that state, in those states, very fascinating. And there's a follow-up one too that's people who haven't voted yet but intend to vote, and we'll compare the differences in the percentages, but it's looking pretty good for Biden. Again, I'm basically feeling pretty good going into election night. We'll have to see, obviously, what the eventual results are, and anything can happen because a week is a long time in politics. But I'm feeling much better than I thought I would at this point. So, okay, you're back, right? I can see you moving the mic.
I am.
Or not the mic, the mouse.
Indeed, I am back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just kind of processing some of the idiocy that was Karl's video.
I've got milk and cookies.
Nice.
Because I'm literally 12. So
double stuffed Oreos were on sale at my local market, so I picked some up.
Oh,
it's like, I haven't had Oreo cookies in ages. Yeah, I'm gonna go full filth.
Fair enough. Anyway, did you see during the week Fort Bragg started posting horny on Maine?
No, what?
Fort Bragg, the actual fort that exists in America. It's a military base. So one of their people went like clearly rogue on their Twitter account and responded to this person's tweet, and that's been edited to cover breasts. The Fort Bragg account says, "My faces, then my boners, and then my faces again before I come up to give you a deep long kiss." That image.
I don't know if I'm more offended by the content or the punctuation.
Yeah, I don't really know, and I don't really, but I just, you know, that's quite nice. It's nice that military bases get the horn. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
anyway,
very random.
So Donald Trump tweeted this out, then deleted it about Rudy Giuliani. Washed up Hollywood nobodies tried to trick America's great mayor Rudy Giuliani, but failed. He was with a woman, young, and tucking in his shirt, which I have done many times. Don't listen to the fake news. It was a tuck!
You know, the washed up Hollywood nobodies reminds me of that Breitbart list we just
went
through.
Very much so. Very much so. But anyway, yeah. So, and then they were like, you know, that's kind of 15. That's not just young. Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, the actress wasn't 15, but the character was.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, what are these fuckers planning?
Oh,
what
that is so sweet. Oh, cute. Little kiddies.
Suspicious, if you ask me.
Very sweet.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Move it over even a little bit more, I'd say.
Okay, well, there'll be a little black strip on the right-hand side, but it doesn't matter. It's hidden.
Yeah, who cares?
Wombat?
Oh, I want to be that wombat, just wrapped up in a blanket, dozing off.
It seems to be nibbling on something as well. Probably got some food.
Yes.
Lovely stuff. That is a delightful wombat. Does it make noise? Should we have a noise?
Yeah. No, just a background noise.
That's just background noise. Like, the fuck is that? Sounds like a fucking telegraph machine or something.
Yeah, I was going to say like a record that's at the end of the record. If you remember those things, it just was.
Yeah.
When it got to the paper.
So Michigan state legislature had to cancel a session because armed protesters showed up. Again.
You know what's amazing to me? I didn't realize this, but you're allowed to take. Not only are you allowed to take guns into the Capitol, you can take them into the chambers where they're having their sessions, and all of the legislators have their backs to the audience box, which means you've got people back there armed who could point guns at you, and you wouldn't know.
That's mad. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, Kristi, can you make Kevin line his chat window up with his face cam frame? It's so irksome. Oh, they want you to resize your...
No. The reason I specifically have it like that is because I don't want the video taking up too much. But then if you squish the thing in there, no. I'm sorry if this annoys OCD people, but no. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. Shut up. Sorry. Anyway...
So you're so empathetic.
I am so empathetic. Fuck them. No, I mean, what? I'm not here to fucking anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to now. You've annoyed me with this. Right.
All I have to say to this is that John Cardello's son must have never really loved him. Or sorry, his dad must have never really loved him.
Is that lined up now? That's lined up enough.
Yeah, I think what you could do is to tilt your camera down a little bit so that there's not like a third of the screen. That you'll be better centered. As of right now, your beard is getting cut off, and you don't want the beard cut off. So I would recommend.
I'll just sit up.
I
was just slouching down.
That also works.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can do that for the whole show.
Yeah, that's unlikely. Let's be honest. Anyway, I'll just squidge that in a little bit as well. Right.
Okay.
So, John Cardillo says, does this look like an appropriate father-son reaction? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm sorry your dad didn't love you.
But I love the ratio as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty
epic.
Brutal.
Nice.
Yeah. And rightly so, because that's really fucked up. And then people were responding with pictures of, like, Donald Trump touching his own kids.
Yeah.
Very weird.
You're opening a door there.
Yeah, indeed. I love this. A detective in the fucking Dayton, Ohio police force with a holster that says, "Don't tread on me."
Great.
Brilliant. Well done. Well done. I mean, that might be the dumbest combination of things I've ever seen. You're literally a police officer.
You got the GOP who are setting up fake ballot collection boxes in California. There was an arson in Boston of one of the voting collection boxes. And they are also, Trump supporters were caught like filming people dropping ballots off at ballot boxes, I think in Pennsylvania. So who's really in support of democracy and who's against it?
Yeah, indeed. What's this? Oh yeah, ICE were using torture to make Africans sign their own deportation.
Jesus Christ.
ICE really are Gestapo level.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for a while, but I think it bears repeating. Absolute scum.
Violations of human rights up and down the line. It's Guantanamo in America.
Indeed. Ian Miles Chung, back to his usual... I can't believe
he hasn't blocked you. He's blocked me.
Stupidity. Absolute stupidity. But you're WOMs. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
With, I think, the greatest conspiracy theory ever. This was in reference to something Joe Biden said at the last debate. I find it curious that Joe Biden referred to, quote, Dark Winter. Operation Dark Winter is a code name for a senior-level bioterror attack simulation conducted in 2001. It was designed to carry out a mock version of a covert and widespread smallpox attack in the USA. And,
No, I think he was actually quoting from Fauci, who was
Yeah.
talking about in the spring we're going to see spikes, but then it'll get worse in the autumn and we'll have a dark winter.
why not
Pretty
just that?
sure
But
that's what he.
yeah, the dark winter just means that you're going to have a bad winter. Why would
Yep.
they be dropping in little hints at a thing from 2001, Ian? You fucking idiot. What do you mean?
Conspiracy theorists. I know they don't. They don't want. There's a whole thing about conspiracy
Yeah.
theorists. You know.
This is just in reference to Trump's nonsense. The murderous dictator in North Korea likes me more than Obama and Biden. It's an interesting argument.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
is something. If your lawyer comes in wearing these, you are absolutely going to jail. Look at that.
What are those clogs?
Fucking
Leather
Herman
clogs?
Monster shoes. The fuck is going on there? Anyway,
Those are atrocious.
those are an abomination. Yes. Trump, after the debate, obviously having
Yeah.
lost, he went to the Daily Wire for their who won. And not just that, but look at the words that are bold. He searched who won. That's the phrase the President of the United States searched on Twitter.
Yeah, this is what he does with his time.
Who won? The
This is
Daily
what he
Wire.
does
went
instead of
to
actual work.
some random fucking person called Cheryl Atkinson. Okay.
With
Clay
about
Travis.
2,000 votes.
Yeah, Trey Clavitt. Yeah, copium. That's exactly what's going on there. Absolutely embarrassing nonsense. It does say copium, I promise. Look, there you go.
Yeah, copium.
Yeah, but just for the people, because I had to move
Oh,
the
yes.
thing across. Oh, bollocks! Oh, suck a
I know, I hate
dick.
it when it does that.
Oh, I've got so much to get through. Where'd you even begin? Oh, there's so much. Oh, there's cuteness on the way. So just stay with
okay.
us. Stay with us, folks. There we go.
Oh,
Copium.
yeah,
Right.
lots of cuteness.
There
Yeah.
you go. Just a cat sleeping in a box. The way nature intended. That cat does give zero
Yes.
fucks. Look at that face. Genius.
If it fits us, it's.
Indeed. Red pandas are cute as fuck.
Oh, yes. Oh, they are. Look at the little baby. Look at the tummy. Just want to put a little finger rub on the tummy. Ooh. Give you a little stretching.
And you get to see it grow a little bit.
Oh, look at it. His face. Look at those little eyes and the big nose. Oh, that is sweet. That is so sweet. Oh, little baby yawn. Yeah. Oh, look how big you are.
Look how much he's grown.
Oh, look how yes.
4
they're
months.
Fuzzy.
4 months old, that.
So fuzzy. Wow. Still super cute.
Troublemaker, that one.
Yeah.
Attack. I don't know what.
Very cute. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough.
Oh, alright.
It's
Cats.
just a bit loud.
Mama cats. Baby
For
cats.
me, at least. Oh, look at that. That is so sweet. Aw.
Fat cat. Fat face.
It
has
has its own pillow.
I was having a down moment because I was just bookmarking cat pictures, so you can tell what state I was in. Cat in a hat.
Part of the Women's March.
Yeah. Look at that. That's Mitch McConnell's fucking hand.
Yeah.
Jesus
And look at my
Christ.
gosh. Yeah, necrotic damage, man.
Yeah. I mean, does he count now as a black Republican senator?
I can't believe you went there.
They've got to try something. Nothing else has worked.
But yeah, he's all dinged up. Look,
Yeah.
he's got like band-aids all over. He's falling apart in front of us.
2-year-old fucking apple that fell down the back. I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
it's gross.
just
It's so gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. And a bit on his face as well. But anyway, so yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
he got
old.
a thump on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
like a staged photo. Right, they're going to send out that
Yeah,
as a Christmas
obviously.
card. This is so fine. The podcaster chap put this out. This is just down the road from where he lives. This shop. Look at the flags here. You've
Oh
got.
my god.
Who would wonder?
That's Karl's idea of patriotism.
Yeah, who would wonder? Do you get the fucking the Confederate? Well, what's called the Confederate flag next to a white Pride Worldwide flag.
The loser flag. The
Yeah.
surrender flag.
I wonder why people associate that with racism. Surprising, I know.
Yeah. Gross.
And then there's some of the stuff inside,
Fuck's sake.
which is fucking mental.
White people who can't deal with the present.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what I pictured. if
Yeah,
I'm honest.
exactly. Yeah. But I like it's called Wildman Dent Myers Civil War Supplies, a surplus, and herb shop.
Diversified.
It's also selling herbs as well. So you go in there, you want some cumin and some KKK merch.
Yeah. Yeah, I want some racism with my turmeric.
That is a bespoke business. That is a delightfully weird combination of that. Oh yeah, more stuff. Yeah, that you've already seen that one. Oh god, that one's amazing. Do we even say that word?
Oh no.
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 Yeah, really bad.
Fucking
That picture of I think that's a
Oh my
T-shirt for
God.
sale. I mean,
So it's a racism shop.
it's a racism shop. Is what this is. KKK. Just in case you wanted that KKK horse thing. In
The
case you
thing is, though,
in case you
this
play Warhammer and really want to freak out your friends.
But
Maybe.
this was a deliberate strategy of the Daughters of the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Was to kind of like turn these people into like the Superman comic book characters of their day and reclaim all of the horrible, the Southern failure and turn it into the lost cause.
Yep.
Ugh, gross.
Trump's thing about wind mine turbines killing birds.
Mm-hmm.
Cats kill 2.4. Is that trillion? Or is it billion? No, hang on. That's million. So that's billion. 2.4 billion cats, birds per year. Turbines kill 234,000.
Yeah. Again, Trump lies.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah. So
But
I mean,
he should be anti-cat if he's worried about the birds.
yeah, exactly. Not just that, but collision with glass buildings. Considering he lives in a glass building in New York,
Mm-hmm.
his building has probably killed more fucking birds than
your average wind turbine.
than turbines do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mad. Anyway, so that's just a thing. Ian Miles Chung guaranteeing a Biden victory by saying Trump is going to win. So get your money.
I'm glad you have that bookmarked.
Get your
Take
money
a
on
picture out
Biden.
because
Yeah, okay.
gonna have to reply to that on November 4th.
Yeah, definitely. This is amazing. Dave Rubin trying to tell a shit Biden joke and fucking it up.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay.
Stand-up
I wanna read that one back to you.
comedian,
We
Dave
had a
Rubin.
good relationship with Hitler until he invaded Europe. Now, you might be thinking, but that was a long time ago, Joe. What are you talking about? I actually did the math. So I think he's talking about, let's say he's talking about roughly 1935, early Hitler. Joe got into the Senate in 1921, right? That was 100 years ago, roughly. And so that means 14, the difference between 1921 and 1935. So for 14 years, Joe Biden was in the Senate because he was in 1921. You see what I did there? And apparently he had a good relationship with Hitler at the time.
Biden is over
it's
100
another
years old, huh?
stupid line. It's a callous and inauthentic way of comparing Trump to Hitler. And it's actually
an inauthentic way of comparing
gross. It is just
Biden to anything.
What is he talking about? The fuck is that? He thinks Joe Biden.
Got in there 1921. Biden must be like 135. You have to be 35 at least to be a senator, right? Is that how it is? 25 for the House, 30 for the presidency, and 35 for the Senate?
Is it?
I'm
Oh, you have to be
thinking of the
older
age.
for the Senate than the presidency. Good lord.
Pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Well, no,
sure.
look. I will bow down to your better
I'll
knowledge
look
of
it
this.
up.
Okay.
I'll look it up really quick.
Okay. Yeah. But even so, like,
but still,
yeah.
yes.
Like, not just that, but I was thinking to myself when I first saw it, maybe he's talking about the year he was born. But Joe Biden's not 100. What is he referring to that happened in 1921? I don't even
Oh,
know.
you have to be 30. You have to be 30 to be in the Senate.
And then
just a
35 for
correction
president. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be
I'm gonna look that
logically
up
that
right
would
now.
make sense because you've got more. You
Yeah,
have to be
35.
older the more
Yeah.
power you can accrue.
Well, it's also a 6-year term, so I thought. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, 25, 30 for the Senate and 35 for the presidency.
Although, I mean,
So correction
it'd be-
on the happy hour. Because
Yeah.
we're about facts,
We are
not
about
feels.
facts. Exactly. And
Unlike
that law was
Carl.
changed in 1921, and that was 14 years before we had a good relationship with Hitler. So clearly, 35-year-olds are all evil.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, I find it odd, if not curious, that the moment I hit, oh, this is amazing. Greg Jarrett, right, puts out this fucking blog post, or wants to put out a blog post, and came up with arguably a greater conspiracy theory than Dark Winter. I find it odd, if
Yeah.
not curious, that the moment I hit send on my column that's highly critical of Joe Biden, my Wi-Fi service disconnected. Inexplicably, it will be out all day. Never happened before. Probably just a coincidence. I drove to the local store and sent the column. So what? Joe Biden's giving a fuck
Yeah.
about random blog posts from idiots on the internet?
Also, he's able to he's able to target and down specific IP addresses. Is that what?
I think Greg Jarrett might be a twat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, kittens fighting.
Aw. That's cute. Licking and fighting, both.
Yeah. Oh, that one hasn't got the sound, I don't think. Oh, there he has, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's like, I lick you, I lick you, I lick you, I bite you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, again, the anti-immigrant nonsense sparks terrorism in the UK this time. An alt-right person went to try and murder a lefty lawyer. It was an immigration lawyer, and has been charged with attempted murder in what is a terrorist act.
Why would a fucking Brit have Confederate flags on them?
They don't? What?
Or Nazi flags?
Oh, hang on. Unless he equipped himself
Yeah.
with a... Oh, he did? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on
He's a
that element
fucking
of the
traitor
story.
to Britain.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Right-wing terror attack of north of Harrow. I don't remember Harrow being part of the Confederacy.
No. Nope. Or Nazi Germany.
Or Nazi Germany, no. I mean, to be fair, Nazi Germany did try and make it part of it, but, you know, didn't work out for them. Lol. Cat in overalls?
Yeah, why not?
I like this one especially. It's standing up in overalls.
Yeah,
Aw.
looking out the window.
Yeah.
That looks very southern to me. That storm window, storm door.
Yeah. I'd call this, hi, I'm clothes. Oh, bless.
Yeah.
What's this one? Oh yeah, cat on a boat.
Oh. Okay. Oh yeah.
Written
Starting
into
to get
that
into it.
three-legged cat on a boat.
Oh, cool. Yeah, digging it now.
Genius.
First it was like, what is going on with the ground?
Yeah.
Now it's got its sea legs.
This is quite a funny little thing. Look, it's the cat pregnancy thing is hissing,
Yeah.
then looks at the monitor, then looks back.
Oh. I'm pregnant?
What?
Shit.
Oh no, I should have taken the pill. Ah. Anyway, a capybara and a bunny rabbit on a road trip.
That's so sweet.
I presume
That is
the
great. I love it.
capybara will take over after every 100 miles. They swap and do some
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
so the other one can get some shut eye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
good stuff.
Stay attentive on the road. Stay rested.
Exactly. Anyway, so that happened. That definitely happened. Oh yeah, Fox. I didn't realise that Fox News were running campaigns, running segments called "Post-Pandemic Liberty" back in
Oh, this will be good.
back in June. No, it's just literally
All
just
right.
the fact that they were calling it that in June.
Post. And it's October, and we're actually spiking higher now than we did initially.
Yeah, post-pandemic in June.
Yeah.
Okay.
2020.
Yeah. I was, some of the pictures that went around about this, I was like, I'm not sure. You can tell this is not really her, but that's not Melania Trump. That is
Her
definitely
nose,
not Melania
the body
Trump.
double is different. Well,
Yeah.
we mentioned this in actually one of the happy hours that she had to cancel a campaign event because she was having lingering COVID effects.
Yeah.
The
In
woman
which
who
case-
is the body double is shorter than him,
Yeah. But not just that, but
or
why not
shorter
just
than the real one.
yeah? Why not just come out and say like, oh, she's still ill? Because you can play on that sympathy thing. Like, I can.
But that's admitting weakness.
Well, yeah, but it's weakness in a WOMS, so surely that's okay.
Yeah.
You just say, look,
You can also.
I can feel your pain, America. My wife is currently really sick with COVID. I care. Like,
You
a
can also-
normal politician would be able to play that for something, but
You can also tell it's not Melania because she's holding his hand.
Yeah,
willingly.
exactly. Yeah. She doesn't seem physically repulsed by him, which
Right.
is very strange.
Yes, which Melania is.
Yeah. Mitch McConnell running blatantly anti-Semitic nonsense now as well.
Oh, of course. Yep,
Soros and
because he's
Mike
a piece of
Bloomberg,
shit.
but I have you. Donate $4 and help us save our
Help me,
majority.
help me. Help me.
Calling out liberal billionaires like George Soros and Mike Bloomberg. So I do hope you rot completely, Mr. McConnell.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Andy and Go stands because he hates violence, but a lot of his fans seem to want to kill people for protesting for Black lives.
But they love free speech for white supremacists.
Yeah.
Andy and his white supremacist friends.
Yeah, one word, snipers.
Jesus.
Nothing ends fucking show up. Quite like bodies dropping from unknown scene assailants. Trust me.
So much for the non-violent far right.
Indeed. Business owners probably have lots of elk rifles. That's not threatening. Lock and load, Lake Oswego, which apparently is the place where
that's what he attracts. That's what he attracts.
Yeah.
Terrorists.
Yeah.
Terrorists.
Absolutely, that's what they are. Yeah. The Village People singer Victor Willis has told Trump to stop using their music.
Yeah.
Is there any musician that wants anything to do with Trump? The answer is
Also,
no, which is why you had to get three doors down to play at the fucking inauguration. You might be asking, who are 3 doors down? No one knows.
Also, the group was like a positive role model for homosexuality.
Yeah. Although,
So
interestingly, only one of them was gay. Did you know that?
But in terms, yes, but the whole YMCA thing is definitely like,
Well, and in the
pro-gay
Navy,
song.
it's camp as fuck.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're talking about getting dick. Yeah, it's not exactly well hidden. It's not even an undertone within their music.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, so that happened. Yes. Oh, the Trump administration get weirder and weirder. The Trump administration offered Santa Claus performers a deal. Promote COVID-19 vaccine and then get early access to it.
What?
The plan has now been cancelled.
Yeah, because there's no fucking vaccine.
But they specifically went to Santa Claus performers. How mental are they? What? Not Santa Claus, I mean the Trump administration.
Yeah.
They thought what we need is the Santa Clauses.
Also, like, on what health basis? I mean, talk about just quid pro quo and pay for play. You advertise our product and we'll bump you to the front of the line ahead of, like seniors and kids and people with underlying conditions.
Who you've given
You did us a
COVID
political
to.
solid.
During the course of Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, Mike Pence's office has now 5 positive COVID cases.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cluster, again, in the executive branch.
Indeed. Vicious attack.
The butt wiggle. It's always the butt wiggle that gives it away.
It is. Oh, Howie Hawkins. The Green... I'm not going to bother playing that video. Doesn't really matter. Howie Hawkins is the Green candidate for president. Who's clearly there as like a GOP stooge, really, at this point. There's such a selection of freaks in the Green Party. I'm sorry. I'm sure some of their policies are very good, but they're weird, turfy people and libertarian. They're all kinds of crazy bastards. Anyway, blatantly lying. AOC has repeatedly refused to call for an immediate ban on fracking or for a halt on new fossil fuels. She took my Green New Deal, not your deal, added 20 years to the timeline and stripped out the call for public ownership of energy system and a massive cut in the military budget to pay for it. Howie, I don't want to be too critical of you, but please shut up. Please shut up now. AOC has done more, and the squad in general, and Bernie, and even the Biden-Harris ticket, have done more for pushing the Green agenda to the top of the national conversation than the Green Party has done in its entire existence.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with any
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Cat sofa?
I saw, we must have watched it here about the person who heard that cats, when you're on your computer or something, like they kind of like want to do what you're doing.
Yeah, the cat laptop one, yeah.
Yes.
That was one of my bookmarks. That was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, I want to like take a fake laptop and set it up, like when my friend's cat is walking over her and just set it up and see if it curls up in front of the laptop that doesn't work.
Indeed. Oh, this is the one I'm talking. Aubrey Huff, a former Major League Baseball player, an amazing prediction. If it's a fair election, no way real Donald Trump loses California.
California. I mean, seriously, like, when was the last time California voted for a Republican for president? I'm asking Google.
Ronald Reagan.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's probably
And that's
it.
because he was from California.
From California. Yeah. It's been 40 years.
Yeah, let's take a look. Biden's currently at 9.4% up nationally. In California,
it's got to be 20.
29.1,
Yeah.
which is almost a third of the entire vote in the lead.
You know, I think what we learned from this is don't look to a baseball player for your election day.
Especially a retired bang average one who was lucky to get to rings late in his day because he was a minor player on the squad with the San Francisco Giants. So yeah, that's right. I called you out, Aubrey Hoff. You were very lucky. Anyway, but he is also an idiot. He doesn't understand electoral politics at all.
Nope.
The Conservatives summed up in one wonky sentence.
What nobody should be under any question about is whether we want to support all children to get good food.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You know,
that's the health secretary. That's the person who deals with the health service. I'd feel very confident with the competence of this government.
Peter Capaldi played which character in the thick of it?
Malcolm Tucker.
Malcolm Tucker. The Conservatives need a Malcolm Tucker.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would love to be a fly on the wall when like a Malcolm Tucker-like character pull him in for that bullshit.
Yeah.
And just screamed at him.
Absolutely chew him the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's worse than talking about diarrhea on the radio.
Yeah.
I think that's like the opening scene.
Yeah. This actually sums up rather what I think Karl was trying to get at, I think, in his video. Basically, the entire reason that people support Trump is because they're capriciously mean bastards who don't actually give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was from Rich Lowry in The National, which is a right-wing fucking rag magazine thing. If Trump wins, it will be a gigantic rude gesture to the cultural left.
And that's when privileged white guys talk about what concerns them. That's the shit they care about because they don't have to worry about earning a minimum wage or losing their health care.
Exactly.
Or being shot by police.
Listen to the. Well, I'm going to read through it. Not that long. It's literally just this one thing. But the concerns he raises here are amazing. Imagine these being your priorities, right? Besides the occasional dissenting academic or brave business owner or ordinary citizen, Trump is, for better or worse, the foremost symbol of resistance to the overwhelming woke cultural tide that has swept along the media, academia, corporate America, Hollywood, professional sports, the big foundations, and almost everything in between. He's the vessel... He's the vessel for registering opposition to everything from the 1619 Project to social media's attempt to suppression of these Hunter Biden stories. Those are the grievances. The 1619 Project, a year-old New York Times, essentially kind of self-aggrandizement piece, really. Look how we care about this, and actual historians doing actual history. But who cares? If you asked any of Trump supporters what the 1619 Project is, they wouldn't be able to tell you. Not one.
No.
And then social media's attempt to suppress an obviously fake last-minute Hail Mary false shit story about Hunter Biden. That's the thing you're worried about? Not like the police murdering people or the fact that millions of Americans are either unemployed or about to get kicked out of their fucking houses and Congress is doing nothing about it, seemingly. No, your issue is history. They're teaching history in a way I don't like.
Yeah, it's literally being honest about the way that slavery tainted everything about American history.
Yeah.
The way that it's the original sin. We talk about it like it's a separate thing, but it influenced the course of the Revolutionary War. It influenced the course of the 1812 War. It's influencing us now.
Indeed. But talking about how slavery and that sort of thing influences the way in which we talk about things now, note the not very subtle use of that right now. The next stanza reads, To put it in blunt terms, for many people, he's the only middle finger available to brandish against the people who've assumed they have the whip hand in American culture.
How about fuck your feelings? How about
Yeah.
that to the people who are upset about that? How about fuck your feelings?
Indubitably. Yeah,
I mean, that's what you've been telling us.
exactly. Yeah.
So, right back
Exactly.
at you, babe.
Oh, liberal tears. Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
But then you want our sympathy when Trump gets mad. Okay.
You bookmarked yourself?
Did I bookmark myself? Why did I do that? That's not remotely necessary. I mean, you can go and follow me on those things, but you're already watching me on those things because you're watching this. So.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tories are genuinely atrociously evil. Oh my god. I thought that I did a stream yesterday. You can go and watch me pour my heart out about how much I despise the direction of this country.
Yeah.
Called Britannia de l'Enderest. Little history tip to you there. Yes, as one of the measures to combat coronavirus and the economic fuckery therein, they had a 6-month suspension of what's called VAT, which is value added tax, which is like the things when you buy something, a small percentage of it goes to the government, right? It's a way of essentially diluting the fact that you're having to pay more tax than the base level. Anyway, so that comes up on the 1st of November. Now, that in of itself isn't the end of the world, but the call was, well, extend it at least for personal protective equipment, so things like the masks and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because people need that. No,
Yes.
no, they're not going to do that. They're basically going to say everything's going to now be 20% more expensive to do the thing, and it's been called the mask tax, which is basically what it is at this point. They could easily and pretty cheaply, it's not going to cost the government a great deal of money at all. To do the right thing, it's going to be 20% more expensive. So basically, if you're rich enough, you can be safe. Everyone else can fuck off.
I thought they hated taxes, these people.
Not for the
When
poor.
they look for any excuse?
Not for the poor.
Oh,
Not for the
right.
poor. No.
Yeah. Yeah, next they're going to start taxing school dinners. You're right, Sam.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, they'd
In a
actually
pandemic.
they'd have to give out school dinners first, I think.
In a fucking pandemic.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. There can be no
When
other reason
cases are spiking.
than capriciousness on this. It's just evil. There's no real reason to do this at all.
No, and yeah, masks should be free. They should be passing them out to encourage their use.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah. Although to be fair, most shops do give them out as well, like because they want to get people in, and if people aren't wearing masks, people don't want to go into the shops. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I just use a fabric mask, so personally, I've not bought mine. I bought one and cleaned it.
Well, I went and got a box of ones that basically look like that. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are doing that. But yeah, and it's more sanitary to throw it away. But I just use my fabric mask over and over and over again.
Who stole this cat's legs?
Clean it.
But also,
you call it a cat loaf?
A cat loaf, indeed. But also, look at that killer behind it. That cat is in trouble. Someone needs to warn that cat that monster is lurking there. Oh, outrageous.
So sweet.
Anyway. Oh, God. Yeah, so, do you remember when in Minneapolis they burnt down part of a police station and some of it got shot up and stuff? And Andy and Go was outraged.
People like Carl,
These Black Lives Matter absolute fucking barbarians, these low IQ, degenerate N-words probably behind, under their breath. Yeah, all of that. Turns out it was actually right-wing saboteurs that did it.
Unsurprising.
On May the 30th, Bill Barr, who, let's be honest, is not sympathetic to the left. He's very sympathetic to the far right. But even he couldn't go against this. Without presenting evidence or charges, blamed far-left groups for violence after the Minneapolis police building was set ablaze. Today, the Department of Justice is charging right-wing saboteurs, Boogaloo Boys, with attacking the building. But Barr's damage was done.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Cover that in your nostalgia podcast, Carl. Talk about this destruction of America.
Indeed. I can retweet that. I thought we already had. Anyway.
I can't retweet anymore. I can only retweet with comments.
No, you can't. You just retweet without so you go like that.
And empty?
Yeah, and you just retweet it empty and it goes out like it normally did. You just have to press it twice for no reason. It's so dumb.
Well, they're trying to. I mean, it's basically to stop bots from just emptying, retweeting things on an automatic account. But no, they should force people to say something. Then, if they're going to do that, I mean, what's the point of that if you just press a button twice?
Indeed.
Okay.
So I just wanted to point out the thing that I mentioned in the past: the anti-Corbyn group, the ones who were accusing of anti-Semitism and all the rest of it. Within the British Labour Party?
Or just generally?
Oh, yeah, within the... Yeah. Ian Austin was a Labour MP. He's now ex-MP. Along with people like Evan Lewis and Mike Capes, who were there, used the Tory-led PR firm Public First to run its 2019 election activities. So basically, they were Tories in disguise, going after someone, not because he was actually anti-Semitic, but because they disagreed with him politically. Yeah. Which is what I basically said at the time, but it doesn't matter. It's they won. What could be said? Oh, shall we listen to Jared Kushner, the white kid who's been given everything in his life, talk shit?
So, look, there's been a lot of discussion about the issues that were needed in the black community for the last years, but particularly it intensified after the George Floyd situation. And, you saw a lot of people who were just virtue signaling. They'd go on Instagram and cry, or they would, put a slogan on their jersey or write something on a basketball court. And quite frankly, that was doing more to polarize the country than it was to bring people forward.
Yeah, again, it's the people who actually try to fix the things that are the problem.
Yeah.
Not the problems, not the police killing.
Yeah.
God, he's evil.
He is evil. But it got even worse in that same interview. Do you want to hear...
He talks about black people complaining about stuff?
No, this is even worse. Black people aren't successful because of black people themselves.
Thing we've seen in a lot of the black community, which is mostly Democrat, is that President Trump's policies are the policies that can help people break out of the problems that they're complaining about, but he can't want them to be successful more than they want to be successful. And what you're seeing throughout the country now is a groundswell of support in the black community, because they're realizing that all the different...
A groundswell? You're running at 6%.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yes.
And that's just Ice Cube. That's just him. Yeah. That's one person.
They're like, look, if you were just conservative, everything would be fine.
Oh, yeah, but it gets...
people, stop voting for your own emancipation. Stop. And the thing is, too, if they actually had Republicans who were black and came from black background, like African Americans in the Republican Party, then maybe, there would be people in that party to identify with. But when people in the black community want to make change, they run as Democrats. You know why? Because the Democratic Party also allies with those changes.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a bunch of black people voting for white people. They're voting for black representatives and Asian representatives and transgender and, gay and straight and people who look like America.
America. But actually America. Yeah. Anyway, it gets worse, though.
Different bad things that the media and the Democrats have said about President Trump are not true. And so they're seeing that he's actually delivered. He's put up results, and a lot of people want to get on board to start working with President Trump, because they know that, unlike most politicians who have been in Washington for decades, who talk and say all the right things, President Trump may not always say the right things, but he does the right things. He says what's on his mind, and he gets results. And so people want results. They're tired of politicians who are promising things and not delivering.
Well, he does say what's on his mind.
Like a health care plan? Like a health care plan?
Yeah. So ultimately, black people aren't successful because they don't want to be successful.
Yeah. Jesus. And to think that he thought that was going to be a good winning message.
I think you've gone down from 6% in the polls after that interview.
Yeah.
Even Candace Owens and Ice Cube are like, that doesn't sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, from the nonsense there, should we hear Kamala Harris get asked a ridiculous question?
Yeah, please.
Have you seen this interview before, by the way?
I saw this clip, but I'll watch it again.
Oh, okay.
What I will do, and I promise you this, and this is what Joe wants me to do, this was part of our deal. I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. No,
what about
it is the
lived
perspective
do not get?
of a woman.
How, for the love of God, How did you're a journalist?
Yeah.
Is that a socialist? But what has that got to do with economics at all? What are you talking about? What the fuck
She's
are you
talking about? Yeah. Having a lived experience as a not white male cis dude is straight, of course, is socialism.
It's socialism. Not being a straight white dude is communism now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And if it's progressive, it means they want to make progress in society so that so people growing up today don't have to go through the bullshit she went through.
So they can progress towards communism. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Baby cat and baby Yoda.
Oh, that is sweet.
Oh.
Very cute.
Also, definitely interrupting mommy or daddy's
work time.
Work time there. Yeah. Trying to impress cats is always a fail. That cat, look at that. That seal's really trying, and that cat gives 0 fucks.
No fucks.
Look at that. That cat's not even. He's not even going to give him a glance. Oh no, no, fuck you.
Yeah, a little bit of a. Is there wind? I feel a breeze behind me.
Exactly. This cat is really feeling the piano music.
Yeah, this is a really nice video. It's an old one, but it's a nice one.
Yeah,
Aww.
It's not joining in though, is it? You got pause.
He sat very strategically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's really
a nice
nice
one to end it on.
Exactly. Yeah, you need some cleansing for that. For the.
Definitely.
Ugh.
Well, I saw that was the first one that you had up, so yeah. Let me sort my windows out now, because I had you on my big screen. Now I got to move the chat over. I'm gonna. They won't see themselves move, but they've just been whipped across the screen. The screen. Whee! All right. That was a little joke for me. Nobody else cared. All right.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about now.
Yep, I'm just filling airtime now with my babbles, but it's less annoying. Oh, I have to get your permission to screen share.
Just did it.
All right, thank you.
There we go. Hopefully.
I alluded to this a little bit when we were on when you were taking your break, and I will bring this down somewhat. I don't like that it automatically gives you the messages in that format, but there, you know how many, like 60 million people have voted already?
Yeah.
In the United States. So they did a poll of those who have already voted. And we're going to look at these breakouts. So amongst those who've already cast votes in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania,
9%.
Yep.
Fucking Christ, not even 1 in 10.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, you can't see the window. Kristi Winters cannot see the window. Oh, or did you?
Did I? Hang on. Didn't. Hang on. What am I doing?
Is it sharing?
It should. Yeah, no, it's sharing.
Hang
on. For some reason, when I go into the thing, it resized it to make it mental.
Okay.
Mental. So I'll just.
Can he see anything?
There you go. Hopefully that works now. Can everyone see things?
All right. I think it'll be better now.
Hang on. There we go.
So yes, those that they interviewed from the 13th to the 21st of October, Biden had 73% of those who cast their votes, Trump 26. So it's like 75, almost a quarter. Michigan, Biden 75, Trump 23. And in Pennsylvania, as Kevin already laughed at, only 9% of people in this sample, of course, reported voting for Biden.
9.
So
that's really bad. Plus 79%. That's old. His percentage lead there in Pennsylvania is older than he is. How?
It says the chat is covering it. So maybe if I move my window this way, is that better for the peoples in the chats now?
Oh, now you've moved it over to the. Oh, for God's sake!
Well, I was trying to help because I know you had it left justified. So.
No, right. I think that'll do it now. I don't fucking know. The chat.
Okay, I guess I don't need my chat up because you've got the chat up.
I've got the chat up. You don't need the chat up at all.
Well, I can't see them then. So
Who
Anyway,
cares?
all right,
Fuck
so
'em.
that asks the question, what about the people who haven't voted yet? What about the people who plan to vote on election day? Well, that is underneath this tweet. So remember those percentages, because Trump was getting like 20%, 25%, 26%, or 9%. And in terms of people who have not yet voted, Trump is only getting 57%. Biden's still polling 39% of people who plan to vote on election day.
Yeah.
38% of people who are voting, 35%.
Well, yeah. I mean, Pennsylvania, like you say, it's one sample, so who knows? But in Pennsylvania, 79% up on those who were already voted and only 21 behind. So that's, what, over 50%?
Well, actually, Biden's still leading, it looks like, in Pennsylvania from those who hadn't voted. So that, I don't know, maybe that doesn't look right to me. I think that should have been reversed, because it doesn't make sense that there'd be that much Biden vote left in Pennsylvania.
I was about to say, I misread that. Yeah, sorry, okay. So
I did too at first.
Yeah, that would be mental. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I don't have authorization to look at the page. Boo. But that is amazing. I mean, I that's kind of the way I feel about how things are going, because I see all these people lined up for hours wearing masks. And so I assume they're not Trump voters for the most part. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about how things are going. This is good. Subtle Halloween decorations at me.
That would scare the shit out of you, yeah. Because that looks like that could be legitimately a person, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Florida man stole a bulldozer, knocked down a fence, and stole Biden signs, police say.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. Fucking Florida.
Yeah.
26-year-old James Blight was charged with grand theft auto. Oh man, fucking didn't realize bulldozers are expensive. That's right. They're really fucking expensive. Grand theft. Oh, here you go. Yeah, Westminster voting intentions. It's within the margin of error there.
Yeah, within the margin of error. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Tim Pool, for the first time in my life, I voted for a Republican for president, Congress, and the Senate. Leftist identitarianism and critical theory was the catalyst. There's two different things, Tim.
Yeah.
Go to school. Were the catalyst for me. The Democrats have refused to put an end to it. What, ideas? Like, they refuse to put an end.
Not just that, ideas. But I mean, I tweeted that just with the grift is complete, because that's exactly what this is. But also, I just want to point out, in a recent exchange with Vosh, because they've set up, Vosh is going to fly out to...
Oh, God, he's still making people fly out to his fucking studio in the middle of a pandemic.
It's so ludicrous. I'm sure Tim Pool will find a way out of it or something. But anyway, for now it is. But in the exchange that set that all up, he was trying to get Vosh to be like, yeah, Biden's shit as well, but Trump's shit. And in the course of that, Tim was like, oh, I'll go first. And he was like, Biden's really shit for X reason, and Trump's really bad because of his corruption involved in his buildings and stuff, and the fact that public money's been funneled that way. And I was like, how can you still vote for him then? You've just admitted he's really corrupt. Why you? The fuck? Like, oh, he's so full of shit. Grift. It's total grift. Yeah.
The cutest tug of a war game ever.
Oh. That dog's shit at tug of war. It's not even biting it. Oh. No. Oh. Look at his little hands.
You know the dog's just, yeah. Yeah, play growls and play, yeah. Oh, yeah. Carl. Trump's doing great. The landslide will be legendary. He's still trying to win over. He's still trying to get Shu's attention.
Oh, it's pathetic. But also, even if you think Trump's going to win, there's no way he's going to win in a landslide.
No.
Not a chance. The landslide would be legendary. I'm going to keep that on the screen for a second. I'm screenshotting that bastard as well. There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Done. I'm keeping all these. I'm responding to him. Yeah.
Take those screenshots on the 4th of November. Lou Dobbs did a media piece saying, I don't know why anyone would vote for Senator Lindsey Graham, because he hasn't been loyal enough to Trump.
What?
Yes.
I thought it was going to be something principled, like, no, he's a piece of shit. No, he hasn't been loyal enough to Trump.
No. Yeah, exactly. I guess I don't know. There's an ad. Expressed exasperation at what he deemed as Graham's insufficient stewardship of oversight duties as chairman of the Judiciary Committee. I don't know why anyone in the state of Carolina would ever vote for Lindsey Graham. It's just outrageous. This is a guy who keeps saying, stay tuned. He said he would get to the bottom of Obamagate with the Judiciary Committee, which has been a year and a half, actually longer, of absolute inertia response to these pressing issues. Oh, dang. Obamagate. Fucking Obamagate. They have Obama derangements.
Which is nothing. It's literally nothing.
Yeah, he's not doing anything because there's fucking nothing there to do anything with.
Yeah, how can you get to the bottom of something that doesn't exist?
Exactly. Well, yeah. Oh, by the way, this was also given, is it Haruka or Raya? Someone in the chat sent this out, and it's basically the cruelty is the point.
Yeah.
They find community by rejoicing in the sufferings of those they hate and fear.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoever gave that that link earlier in the chat, thank you.
Point we were making, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Brian Williams. Yeah, we'll listen to this because this is actually pretty funny. Did you listen to this clip?
No, what's this?
All right, so Brian Williams, he does like the late show, the news show after like the 10 o'clock hour or something on the East
I know who
Coast
he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just doing we'll just play it. I'll just play it.
You didn't share with sound. You didn't share with sound. You
Oh.
didn't share with
Oh,
sound.
thanks. I hadn't had to up until this point, but you're right. I will stop sharing and I will reshare with sound. Actually, I didn't have to stop sharing. I just had to click the thing. Excellent.
Okay.
Alrighty-dighty. Here we go again.
Last thing before we go tonight, while a lot of us are, let's call it, out of circulation during this pandemic, if you do go out this weekend, please do so safely, and please pay special attention to your surroundings. Situational awareness, they call it. Look around and look hard, because you can be a part of a great national effort to find the president's health care plan. We know it's out there because he told us.
Oh, nice. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that one. Okay.
As I said, I did not see that last line coming.
Kudos. Good. High five. High five.
Yep. The shade of it all.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so in order to keep people motivated and entertained while they stand for hours in some places to vote, there have been a lot of spontaneous efforts by Americans who are very patriotic about their right to vote and wanting to see the country go in the right direction. This is just one example. So, but they did a thing. People in North Philly are doing their duty, waiting in long lines at early voting, and we want to honor these Americans and bring the celebration of to that act of voting.
Too many years, this is what I like to understand, that I'm a standing example of what to do. Food tested and approved by the true and living. The president is more important than yes, it was with the very position. In a whole other dimension, that's why my face was like,
check out that bus behind you.
Beyond my president in control of mine. Always gonna be calling the shots, the head of the crime. So they can be in some different box.
Awesome. I mean, it's sad that people have to do it, but I guess they're embracing it and turning it into a way to empower others and bring joy to the community.
Yeah, that's nice. And it's nice to have some public activism in general, yeah.
Yeah, people who are engaging with the issues. So Courtney Lynn says, dispatches from my mother, quote, I wish CNN and them would start showing those racist boogie woogie boys. the who? Boogie woogie boys or whatever those pieces of shit are called.
I don't know if I've ever told, my dad. Oh, he's a delightful Irishman. And that means he is as white as you think he is. Back in the day, listening to some rap music or hip hop or whatever, and he came in and he decided to do one of those moments like, hello fellow kids, like he was doing that. And he started telling me about a rapper he'd heard of called Snoopy Doggy Doggy. And I nearly died. I didn't even bother correcting him. I just thought, technically he's got all the right bits there, he's just added some more, you know. Amazing. God. And now you know how white I am as well.
Yeah. This is just one of those feel-good videos. And we all have this friend when it's time for a group photo. There we go. Where he just jumps up.
Oh, group hugs. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
I'll be honest, when I'm drunk, I'm that guy.
This isn't exactly true because radical means something else, but
radical.
Yep, it always cracks me up when the left is referred to as radical. Like the left is running around carrying assault rifles, denying science, and discussing not accepting the results of an election.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not exactly. Radicals don't want to transform society.
Radical.
Oh yeah, just the PragerU getting owned all the time.
Some glorious ones, yeah.
Yes. So communism or freedom? I voted for communism.
You heard it here first, folks. You didn't even vote for Biden. Outrageous.
From each according to his ability, each according to his need. Yeah, beautifully equality, intensely fair and evil. Actually, yes. Yeah, beautiful equality. I lost that one. And equal opportunity or distribution.
I love them also got the opportunity, American flag, distribution, communism.
Yes, the communists. Yeah.
They do like being owned. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. Kevin Cat here did a breakdown of Florida early mail, but it's like already 4 days old, or 3 days old. It's probably not even worth going into, but it's looking good. I mean, Florida's going to be tight. I'm looking more at Pennsylvania this year, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. I'm not even worried about Michigan, to be honest, or Wisconsin at this point. I'm looking at, like also Georgia, North Carolina. Oh yeah, Jamie Harrison in North Carolina has so much fucking money. He's starting to run ads like encouraging people who are on the right to vote for the third party far right candidate.
Oh, fucking hell.
I don't even know if the guy's on the ballot anymore, but
he better
write him in. Quit the race.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm doing adverts telling people to vote for the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy as well. Fuck it. Write him in.
Yeah. Yep. So basically, this is just more than a vote. We're teaming up with We Win Black to combat misinformation targeting Black voters. This is something we know the Russians have been doing. It's just a good ad, actually. Why don't I just put it up here? And basically, yep.
Last election just like they wanted.
This year we're playing to win. 3 things to know.
1.
Sometimes good people have bad information.
That wild meme your uncle sent you with a conspiracy about COVID and mail-in voting, it might be from Moscow. No joke.
What you can do, fact check the family chat, but do it with finesse.
2. You don't need a ref to see that not everyone is playing fair out here.
That Twitter beef about Biden's Democratic plantation by Spicy Black King 411,
it might not be real. You could be talking to a bot or a paid troll. What you can do.
Ignore the internet gangsters. Only fight with your teammates.
3. Register, then vote. Early if you can. Let's go. Stay focused, stay winning.
Under review. A partnership with More Than a Vote and Win Black.
Yep. I mean, it's sad that we have to do this kind of counter programming to the Russian propaganda or counter, factual checks. But yeah, basically just telling people, don't believe it just because your family said. Oh, here's a cat meme. Do not fucking tweet that.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't. That's good kitty. Good kitty.
Yeah, stop. Think before you send this. Just
Exactly.
that stare, though. It's so intimidating. What the fuck are you doing? Oh yeah, just cat tummy. That's it. Cute little.
I did
cat
that the
belly.
other day, and Rory Cat's nearly ate me.
After claiming he knows more about wind than Biden does, he claims that wind kills all the birds.
Not just that, but I know more about wind. It's like, do you remember our friend, the expert in falling?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you know more about wind? What the fuck are you talking? Unless you're talking about your fucking bowels, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, also all the gas that comes out of his mouth.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing, yeah.
I thought this was pretty funny. Trump saying he could raise money if he wanted to is the Canadian girlfriend of campaign finances.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't even know her. She goes to a different school. Shut up.
Okay, here's just a.
Well, you said, I think I played a clip, didn't I? I don't know if it was on a show with you or one of my regulars. But there was a clip where he said, I could raise $1 billion in a day.
Yes. Yeah.
$1 billion in a day? What you talk, you fucking lunatic. You absolute fucking madman. Shut up.
Complete. Absolute.
And not just that, have you noticed if you look at his campaigns as well, he's literally morphing into like a fascist, because he doesn't even have the American flag behind him now. He has the blue stripe police protect the blue
Oh
flag thing
God,
behind him.
police state.
Yeah, so he's not even pretending to love America anymore. Yeah.
I better tell Carl update his information.
Outrageous, I know. Oof.
Okay. Cute dog being cute.
Aw.
That's it.
Aw.
It's just absent.
No.
Yeah.
I want to boop
cute
his
face.
little nose. No.
Boop, boop. Oh yeah, I sent you this one. A Florida woman repeatedly tells the cops her name is "My butt just farted."
Well, I'm absolutely furious because the Ustfarted family will be furious that their daughter, my butt, has been treated in this terrible way, mocking their family's great name.
And of course, it's fucking Florida. Of course, it's Florida.
Of course, it is. Yeah.
All right. Thanks to Wrong Speak Auditor for this one. Jack Posobiec is claiming that the pictures of Rudy Giuliani putting his hand down his pants is revenge porn.
I thought it was a tuck.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, not just that, but we all live in a world now where I think we've all seen Hunter Biden's penis. That's just the world we live in now. That was revenge porn. Don't tell me you haven't seen Hunter Biden's cock. Don't even tell me that. Okay.
I didn't see that one.
There's a video of him getting a consensual from an adult foot job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's been released. Apparently, that's a thing. I haven't seen any evidence to suggest it isn't him. So apparently it's him. Okay, fine. But I mean, so what? It's two consenting adults. I don't give two fucks. But that is revenge porn being specifically put out by Trump associates. That is revenge porn.
Oh, yeah. And look at this. Someone was charged with burning the ballot drop box in Boston. Apparently in the box there were like 150 ballots and like 120 were okay, but 30 of them were destroyed to the point where they couldn't be submitted. So
fuck.
Yeah, that guy's going to get charged with federal crimes.
Good.
We'll come back to that maybe at the end of the show.
Exactly. Now, in terms of Massachusetts, that's not going to matter. But down the ballot races could be affected. That's the big problem.
Yeah, yes. I mean, those voters, I don't know how they're going to track those voters down, but they're going to have to basically hopefully have enough time to recast a replacement ballot for the one that was destroyed. Yeah. So I don't know which spot this was. Is this the one there's a couple. There's one with Brad Pitt and there's one who's also someone who's got a voice that's like velvet. Samuel L.
Jackson?
No.
Sam Cedar?
Here, I'll play it. No, he was in the Big Lebowski.
Oh, God.
He was the white guy who kind of narrated it. I'll just play it. Maybe you'll recognize his voice.
There is only one America. No Democratic rivers. No Republican mountains. Just this great land. And all.
But there is a green field. Yeah.
Hey, with Carl's concern about aesthetics, maybe we should send him this video because this is what he's talking about, right? That kind of like old-timey piano and the American flag. Except, wait a minute, that doesn't look like a bunch of KKK people marching in the early 1920s.
Oh my God, there are blacks. No!
Fresh start. Cures we can find. Futures we can shape. Work to reward. Dignity to protect. There is so much we can do if we choose to take on problems and not each other, and choose a president who brings out our best. Joe Biden doesn't need everyone in this country to always agree. Just to agree, we all love this country. And go from there.
Damn, is that a good counter to the entire premise that Carl was trying to put forward tonight?
Rather, yeah. Although I still like my green fields joke. That works. That works.
Yeah. I mean, I know that for us, a lot of people on the left, we kind of feel that kind of like, America cringe. But I also think that if we want to win, we have to understand that emotional arguments like that, this is what Republicans do. It's what the Lincoln Project does.
Yeah, it's what wins. Yeah.
Yeah. And for people who are pretty intellectual and thinking about structures and, like capitalism as a system and all that kind of stuff, that's what we respond to in terms of like how to make things better. But people on a lower level, like I want to say that people are on a lower level, but on a more emotional level, they want to believe they live in a good country.
Yeah.
They want to believe they're good people, and they want to, like, the idea of the America that could be is actually a very inspiring, unifying thing. And so the idea there's no Democratic rivers, no Republican mountains, for people who don't identify in a partisan camp like I do, that resonates with them. And I think we have to kind of just, if nothing else, messaging wise, respect that emotions work. And how we do it as Democrats or how we do it on the left can be different from how people do it on the right, but we shouldn't be dismissive of it because the right plays off fear and anger.
Yeah.
So.
There might not be any Republican mountains, but there is a Mount Logan. So
is there?
There is.
Okay.
I think, is it the tallest mountain in Canada or some shit? I can't remember. I know that's North America, but I just wanted to say there's a Mount Logan. It's a thing.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. Someone in the chat, I'm sure, has already popped it in there. Sam Elliott, maybe?
I
can't remember. Yeah. You're not even looking at your chat.
No, fuck them.
So they did Monmouth did a likely voter in terms of high turnout and low turnout, and in both cases Biden wins. So we'll have to keep an eye out to see how things go in Iowa as well. There's a lot of
there aren't any people in Iowa. Why are they lying? No one lives in fucking Iowa. Jesus.
You know how since basically I want to point to when Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris, but also
do you mean
Act Blue has
Kamala Harris? Hey.
Act Blue has been helping grassroots people just make it rain on Democratic candidates. After Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, there was a huge spike in it, right? And that was why Lindsey Graham was on Fox going, help me, they're killing me financially, right? So
that's a solid Graham. Well done.
Yeah. So as head of the Judiciary Committee, do you know what he's going to do in the next session if the Republicans hold the Senate?
Murder everyone.
He wants an investigation into Act Blue's source of small donor contributions.
Oh, well, they're small donors.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What the fuck? These motherfuckers are okay with like ridiculous, massive money super PACs, but Act Blue getting like fucking $2 from your aunt in Michigan. That's too much. A month. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's clearly a subversion of American democracy. What we need is ExxonMobil funneling billions into, or not billions, but millions into, campaigns for dark money bullshit.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, the thing that someone said, actually, I think it was a Lincoln Project podcast. Because anything that does political analysis, I listen to. But it might have actually been Rick Wilson, or maybe it was one of the other guys who said, look, Republicans can't compete in the free marketplace of ideas. So they have to try to rig things. And I think I'm going to do a show on this after the election to see how it actually pans out.
Yeah, without gerrymandering and without the Electoral College and without packing the courts, they can't win.
Voter suppression.
Yeah.
No, they can't. And I think that you're going to see, and they're going to stay right wing. So don't think that anyone on the Lincoln Project is going to become left wing. But they see, look, there is a demographic destiny in America.
Yeah.
And we have to start competing. We actually have to have a message that resonates with Black voters and Hispanic voters of various, like Puerto Ricans and Cubans and Mexican Americans and Guatemalan Americans. We need to stop trying to stop these people from voting and start trying to win them over.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what's going to be the fight now on the right, are the people who just want to continue the Rove strategy, the Southern strategy of trying to juice up and gas up and try to get as many angry white guys out to vote as possible and cheat. Or the party that actually wants to try to compete with the center, on the center grounds with traditional Democratic voters.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Republican core message, if you ignore the racism for a second, can win with people of color. You've got quite a lot of...
If you've got enough money, you want to vote Republican. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what your background is. If you make people rich, they're going to start voting Republican.
Why not just that? Because you can get poor people to vote against their interests with a number of other things. Like you've got like a lot of Hispanic people in America have come from South and Central America, or are descendants thereof are Catholics, right? So you can have you can appeal
religious,
to God.
social conservatives.
You've got a lot of black social conservatives who are religious as well. So you can appeal to people on that basis. You can also appeal on genuine aspiration grounds. But again, you do have to actually allow the American dream to exist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the best thing the Republicans could do in order to swing a bunch of Republican votes personally is to like make everyone in America make enough money to care about how much they pay in taxes, as opposed to their health care costs or other things. Yeah. It's to spread the wealth around so much that people have the luxury of worrying about their tax rates and can afford an accountant. I mean, that would be their best strategy. Of course, whites, and that's not like a racial thing or even an age thing. But instead, they want to just like, squeeze as much money out of one group and shift it over to the other and then rig the playing field so that the people who are getting fucked over can't change the system.
Quite rightly pointed out, you just said you wanted to gas white people.
What?
You said gas up angry white people or something. But
the vote. Yeah. The vote. Yeah. Juice the vote or overperform in that way. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm like right there with Michael Rollins as being a racist against white people.
You are terribly anti-white racist. Absolutely.
Yep. So Politico looked through the FEC, the Federal Election Commission filings that had to be done before the last part of the election. Biden has 3 times as much cash as Trump does. The guy blew a fucking $1 billion on Bill Stepien's company. 80% of Trump's spending is hidden in one firm. 80% of his spending is hidden in one firm.
And most of it's now hidden in the Cayman Islands.
Yep, and Trump's self-funding promise never came. Of course.
It didn't last time either.
He's got no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you going to run a national campaign on $17? That's all he's got. Look, if he's paying $15 in income tax, he's got no money. He's got like $200 in the bank or something. And a bill for $400 million coming in very soon.
Yeah. So again, I think that there are some people on the right who are, they're changing my perspective of what a typical Republican voter is. And these are the alienated never Trumpers. But this quote, I don't know if it's from this article. Actually, I think, again, it's written by the members of the Lincoln Project. But again, for me, this little quote from this opinion piece, it's members of the Lincoln Project. This kind of sums it up. Like, this is the difference between Lindsey Graham Republicans and these guys who are, again, fighting for the center right. None of us can choose history. History chooses us. If you ever wondered what side of the Edmund Pettus Bridge you would have stood on, this is your chance to choose. Those who went before faced dogs and fire hoses, and yet they did not flinch. So I think the left in America is actually going to have, if these people get to power, we're going to have more difficulties competing for votes. But I also think we're fighting on better ground of racial equality. I'd rather have those fights than white segregation. So I'm not going Republican. I'm just saying you got to know your enemy. And I see them coming. I fucking feel their breath on the back of my neck. And they're going to be competing for centrist, like you said, conservative Hispanic votes and other people who might be amenable to a small government argument if done from the perspective of human equality, racial equality, and tolerance.
Yeah, I mean, just not being racist would be a start, guys. If you just didn't, didn't do the racism, you might be in double figures with them. Yeah. They might. The ones that would want to vote for you might not go, but they're really fucking racist. What? No, I'm not voting for them.
Yep. So, yeah. You can just go, this is Trump. Oh, Trump is leaving after his 60 minutes.
Yeah, I saw these. Look how grumpy he is. That is a defeated man right there.
Oh, his temper tantrum. Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Why I'm not a Republican. Okay, yeah, just basically all the evil things.
But let's not ignore the neck.
You want to see the neck?
Did you see that fucking neck? That is that's almost it's almost McConnell.
You and your waddle.
It's yeah. Well, I mean, look, we've all got our kinks. Is that what's his name? The actor?
I don't think. I think it's just some random guy.
Oh, is it?
He's at a bowling alley.
Oh, okay. Well, the actors go to bowling alleys sometimes. Anyway, I don't think it is him though, because he looks a lot older than he would be. I think. Who's the actor?
You would never.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't know. We don't know. All right, you're never going to see this in the UK. Okay. All right, you would never see this in the UK for an election. So let's just enjoy it. They did the whole house. This is from Florida, I guess.
up, now let me see your hips. Now drop it down, let me see your hips. Now to the floor, now let me see your hips. Now drop it.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
that
pretty.
is-
No, you don't see Mike Pence doing those moves, by the way.
No. Rhythm is on the ballot, okay?
Oh yeah, Pat Robertson predicted that Trump is going to win. It's going to start the end of times. So someone made this Rapture Survivor card.
Yeah. Fair point. Well, it was supposed to end on my birthday in 2017 or whatever it was.
Oh, was it?
21st of May, yeah. Because something to do with the Mayans or some shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the year 2000 and all that. The calendar ended. Their maths ran out. Like
Yeah.
the way that they did like their stuff, they just ran out of numbers or whatever.
Yeah. But I
And they
mean,
thought time would end.
but also, who cares? The Mayans didn't predict their own fucking crumbling, so I mean.
No, they were wrong about that.
No, I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying maybe they weren't.
No, you don't take it as
Maybe
face
they
value.
couldn't tell the fucking future very well. Is what I'm
Yeah.
suggesting.
This is amazing. So a woman parks her car in a Black Lives supporter street. Did you see this already?
No.
Okay, she's chanting White Lives Matter for like a half an hour. And then she shows up on a supporter of Black Lives Matter property, right? So he's got his garden hose out there. We'll get the sound up for this.
Well, hang on. So she's trying to provoke then, clearly.
Yes,
She's doing it for
yeah.
half an hour. Fucking hell. And she couldn't
Yeah,
get anywhere,
also
so she
notice-
had to up the game, basically.
Yep. Also notice this place is so rural, it doesn't have pavement. Like there's the street and then just your yard stops. So if she wants to be on public property, she has to stay in the road. Once she steps on people's grass, that's their property.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no sidewalk there. So you're scaring my kids. You can't really hear the shouting, but you won't be able to watch the video. I'll just move it up here. Basically, like, don't step on my property. The property line's right here. Get off my property.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Go home, girl. Oh my God. You're gonna lose that battle. Okay, now I think maybe we should call somebody. Yeah.
Please get off my property.
Is it 911? Yeah. Okay, man. Do you want me to call?
Oh, fucking hell. Wow.
America, man.
She was not very well coordinated.
No, now she's wet and slippery and slidey and a racist.
And a racist, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is so cute. The mama does a yawn and the little baby does a yawn too. We'll watch it one more time. Big cat yawn. Little cat yawn.
No, your baby kids.
Oh, we're really back in October 20th. I think we're pretty much getting to old. Yeah, but this is back when only 35 million people had voted. So,
No,
but
I
yeah,
remember
this
that,
is. Kentucky judge orders the grand jury records from the Breonna Taylor investigation to be released, citing the need to show if public elected officials are being honest, and the jurors will be able to speak publicly now about what happened during the grand jury.
Awesome. When will that be happening?
so-
Do we know?
That was the 20th of October, so I don't know when the actual release of that could have happened this week or might happen this week for all I know. Let's see. It says grand jury. I'm presumably there's no date that I'm seeing here. So, yep. Yeah, so that's me done. I can stop sharing now if you're ready to.
Yeah, I'll put the happy hour funny pictures back up.
Yes, there you go.
All right then. Oh, hang on. But now this screen isn't. Hang on. There we go. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
Done
You
what?
got it sorted?
Yeah, I'm good.
What are you doing? Okay.
I'm doing nothing. You leave me alone. Anyway.
Yeah, this was good. It
Oh,
was good to dunk on
someone
Sargon.
said grab a bucket and a mop. That's outrageous. That's not at all what was taking place there.
She does have some wet ass racist. War?
Rawr.
Some wet ass racist.
Indeed. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, you want to talk about the election show?
I was about to say, yeah. Is that an off-air discussion or is that a discussion for now? I don't even know. We're doing something on election night, or technically the day after here, because it's like the morning. Because I mean, what time do
8 o'clock?
Yeah, what time do the thing?
I think polls close about 8 p.m. 8 o'clock generally on the East Coast. So 2 in the morning. Yeah, it'd be Wednesday morning here for us.
Yeah, which is slightly annoying because the clock. Hang on, when do the clocks go back in America?
Oh, ours not until the 2nd of November or something.
Oh, so it's like the one day because it's only 4 hours in the minute.
Yeah, it'll be over. I think by the time it'll be 5.
Oh, that's really...
Oh, sorry, it'd be 1 o'clock in the morning. I think your time. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 o'clock here, but it would be midnight. Oh,
yeah.
Fucking daylight savings time being shit.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weekends after, and they've got this weekend, which is Halloween. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I don't live in the States. I don't fucking know. Ask people in the chat. What time does the United States turn their clocks back?
Oh, well, I could just look up. USA clocks back. The 1st of November.
Okay,
so
yeah,
Sunday.
it is after Halloween. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so but it's only a couple of days. Okay, yeah, but anyway, so it'll be... I don't know, I suppose we'll start at that when the things close, because then you're going to get some sort of exit poll, maybe.
Well, I discussed this on my Sunday show. The thing about exit polling is that they tend to exit poll people on the day of the election.
Right.
And the problem is the people who are voting on the day of the election is only going to represent a smaller proportion of the electorate, and also it's going to be highly skewed to Trump supporters who decided to vote on the day. So no, we're not going to get, I don't think we're going to get a lot of exit poll stuff because there's no, I brought it up on the show, the fact that nobody's talking about the fact that the exit polling isn't going to be exit polling like it traditionally is because of the pandemic.
Okay, so what the fuck do we do?
We'll have to wait for results. Well, I think there will be discussions of turnout. We can talk about early voting turnout in various states. There will probably be more polls of how people have voted. So there might be some predictions. We can look at the lines, look at the turnout to see whether or not people are actually turning out and waiting to vote for Trump. And then some of the state returns will come back pretty quick. I mean, I'm assuming that in the Northeast, for instance, we'll get some early returns that are predictable. Like, I'm not expecting New York State has a mail-in ballot for the first time, so they might be having a hard time. But I'm not expecting like places like, Maryland to flip for Trump or something like that.
I don't know. Well, one of our guests, Steve Sharps, will be hoping definitely that it does flip for Trump. He's a big fan, massive fan. Oh, hang on, before we even leave. Oh, Rory Katz, you almost got away with it, mate, but you tried to sneak past me. I saw you, dickhead.
Oh, is he on camera now?
My baby kids.
Yeah. So we'll probably look at we'll look at maybe some bookmarks. I mean, there's plenty we can do. And we've got a series of people that we've invited to just turn up and we can just chat with the guests and maybe talk about their voting experience. So yeah, we'll fill time, I don't know, from 2 in the morning or 1 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock Eastern till, I don't know, California polls close or something.
Yeah.
So maybe like a 3 or 4 hour show.
Yeah, do a 3 or 4 hour one. We've got guests, some people and stuff. Who have we got? Chris, I don't even remember who you invited.
Well, I haven't necessarily confirmed everyone. We've got kind of an open invitation and some people have acknowledged it. So it might be kind of a potluck of like, here's the link, drop in when you can, and then we'll get like 4 people at once. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
But Kevin will be hosting so that I can keep an eye on the various returns in the media website and whatever live streaming things I can get my hands on to see the results as they come in. So.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yes, join us on election night because we're going to be up anyway. So fuck it, why not just go online and chat shit?
And I presume no one else will be covering it.
So I'm sure no one else will be covering it.
Yeah. So I mean, for your exclusive access to this incredibly niche topic that no one else will be covering, then come and join me on this show at what time did we say we were going to start? Can't even remember.
When polls close on the East Coast, so I think at 8 o'clock is a traditional
close
time Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 1 p.m. in the UK, which is 1 a.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. Which will be, I think, midday in Fiji. Are they 11 hours? I think it is. So I think it's midday.
What time do their clocks go back?
I think the people of Fiji are far too sensible for that nonsense. I don't think they do daylight savings time. I think it's always just whatever time I guess it is in Fiji.
So you just make up times for Fiji. You don't actually know.
No, I always check. Yeah, whenever I type in time in, and the first one that comes up is Fiji now, because I have to check because I never remember.
It's replaced the internet speed test now for you.
It has. Oh, by the way, it seems that we're doing that. Let's have a look.
Yeah, and by the way, we might even have to count on people in the chat like telling us returns when they're watching on different channels, because we come here if you want a 5-minute delay between when it was actually announced on the news stations and when we actually learned of when it happened.
Yeah.
So for the least up-to-date results. What I can do, though, is I'll just open up like a whole bunch of news election result pages. I'll do Fox, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, and we can just move through the tabs.
Your internet connection is very fast. Boom.
Oh, is that a technical term?
Well, no, that's what it said on the thing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So if people are going to tell us via the fucking news, so if you want the latest breaking third-hand information, come to us.
Yes. Yeah. Or if you want to give us up-to-date information in the chat, which we'll both have up. Election center, like telephone game.
Yeah. And if you know any internet people who you want to invite who aren't like total shit,
recommend, yeah.
then yeah, feel free. Fuck it, I don't care. Although I have to find out some way of doing that. Will it just be a mass Skype call or something? I don't know.
Google Meet. I use Google Meet for my D&D games, so I don't know if I can share sound from Google Meet, but we really won't need it anyway. It'll just be the returns, so you'll have sound, or maybe not. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah. But yeah, Google Meet, everyone will have audio in terms of talking to each other. So
that's all we need. Well, we need you, dear viewers, to turn up. Otherwise, we're talking to nobody.
Yeah, why look at experts who have the up-to-date latest information and who are published, giving published political views when you can have us?
Exactly. What, you're going to listen to someone who knows what they're talking about, or me scream at Broward County for 4 hours? Come on.
Really? Is it a choice even?
Exactly.
Oh, and I did see we had some recommendations for watching Birdemic for the next shitty movie.
Birdemic? Is this a windmill movie?
We'll have to find out.
Or is it mostly cats and buildings?
He might be.
Yeah. Anyway, so join us. Well, we might even fucking fit in another show between then and now. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. What have you got coming up on your channel, Kristo?
Actually, D&D is off now for another couple weeks. So actually, I don't have it. I haven't really thought beyond today. I don't have any. I have my Sunday show as usual and my Sunday D&D session, but at the moment, I don't have anything scheduled. I should do something.
You should do something, you lazy motherfucker.
Yeah. We'll watch a trash movie for post-election content. Maybe that'll happen this week.
Yeah, probably. I imagine so. Not now though, because I'm tired. I'm gonna eat and go to bed.
No, that's fine. That sounds good.
But yeah, okay, cool beans. I'll check back in with us on the social medias, and we'll update you 20 minutes before we go on air. Because I forgot.
Probably.
I totally forgot. I set it up and I was like, I'll do that in a minute, and then I think I went for a shit and forgot. So
you evacuated your bowels and your mind.
Quite so, yes. It's often similar material as well. All that shit. Go and subscribe to Kristi. If you're on the Twitch, go and subscribe to me on the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the Twitch. I'm so good at this. Anyway, and thank you all for listening and watching. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from Kristi. Say goodbye, Kristi.
Say goodbye, Kristi.
So you don't need to say goodbye. You just say goodbye, Kristi. Again, it's a Snoopy doggy situation.
You don't need to say goodbye, Kristi. You can just say goodbye, Kristi. You see, it's a Snoop doggy situation.
I think she's mocking me now. Anyway,